Gentlemen, what is this rainbow color thing? Does it? I can't see past those little screen. My cheeks are looking a little rosy. We just got back from the sauna.
Why are you using the rainbow one?
Oh, I didn't mean to stop. Honestly, I like the look of it, but it doesn't.
Oh, I mean, do what you.
No,
it's
I
your
didn't
show.
stop on it on purpose. I was just focusing on something.
It's your show. Okay, ladies and gents, we've got quite the eclectic thingamajiggy on the way for you beautiful people.
Yeah, we've got some Avenged Sevenfolds. That's
got
pretty
some
cool.
Avenged Sevenfold, but more importantly, we got DJ Mike Franco, who's one of our favorite DJs of all time, I have to say.
Yep.
No disrespect. No disrespect to anybody.
Very polite.
No disrespect to anybody. Javier Gardea. What's up, Javi? Good to see you, buddy.
And you know what? The thing is with Mike. Anytime,
Maddie Nutrition.
Every single time hey, what's up?
Fausto Martinez.
Every single time I open up one of his messages, he's always very nice.
Who, Franco?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Every single one.
Franco's he's a stand-up dude.
I don't know. Even
if
he's frustrated, I never knew.
Yeah. It's always very convicting hanging out with these people because we're the Christians and they're always more Christ-like.
I mean, wow, he really held that together.
We all. Unfortunately, Tom Rizzo in the house.
All right.
That's strike one, Fausto. That's strike one, buddy. Preston Weeks in the house. Greetings from Argentina. Blair in the house. Good to see you, Blair.
What's up?
Thank you for the email last night. Says, hey, Lisa Fernandez.
What's up, Lisa?
Goth Mama in the house. We got the crew today. We got Middle Earth today.
Hey, can you remind me when it's done, in case I forget, to schedule for tomorrow?
Man, nothing like some good agua. Yeah, we got some Avenged Sevenfold. We got Mark. We're just waiting on the DJ. Once DJ Franco shows up, then we're going to get right into this shizniz. Hey, Andre Mariano. Malevolent creation, yes, Jason Nonea. There's a lot of Latinos in the house today.
Oh.
Shout out to all my Latinos, baby. Back uptown, baby. Lenox Ave. My Oyes on Broadway all day. Down.
Oh, boy. Oh, wow, look at that. All right, there's the...
River Roth into his house.
I don't know, babe. I think we got it.
Hey, Riv.
Good-looking couple faces here. What?
Huh? Riv has got a stream coming?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, actually, did we put a date on that, Revo? Wait, no, I mean River. Was it River?
Zach in the house.
Yeah, it was River.
Yeah, Franco always has good stuff. Always has good stuff. I've never seen a bad or even a mediocre stream. There he is!
Right.
The man of the hour! The man of the hour!
Yeah, River, I've got your list. Oh, you got a mega stream. River's got a mega stream coming up.
Mega Stune.
Yep, right here.
Nice.
If that list stays as it.
Hey, did we check that audio and the camera?
We did not. All right, so I have to unplug it.
You do?
Yeah, it's the only way. And it was ready. As it should be. It's going to be the time we don't check.
Yeah.
How is that?
Yeah, I think we're back.
To the right, to the right. To the left, to the right.
BC in the house. People showing up for the big homie DJ Franco. That's what we about, bro. That's what we about. iDog TTV Gaming. Shout out to iDog TTV Gaming. Never seen the big homie before.
Mike, but they like his taste in music more.
True story. All right, guys. Commercial break. Got to pay the bills. Perkinos in the house. Tom Rizzo in the house.
Oh, for some reason you were going to say Tom Brady.
Zach Hayward in the house. Man, we got everybody here.
From
Orlando
Amazon.
Mesa in the house. Guillermo Soares from the Amazon. Or from Amazon or the Amazon.
Well, if you work for Amazon.
If you work from Amazon, then send us an email and we got a deal for you.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Commercial times. We got to pay the bills, and then we're coming right back. It's DJ Franco in his house. Let's go. If you would like to get your song reviewed, dear listener, there's the Filthy Capitalist option. As Sorry says, $125 gets you straight to the head of the line. You don't have to be a part of the alliance. You don't have to be part of the group.
Wait a minute.
And the biggest thing is you don't have to wait. You hop, skip, and jump right in front of everybody. $125 gets you there. You do that 3 times, and then get mashed down to the $75 rate for perpetuity.
Yes!
Also, there is a band review option. So if you've got a band and you're trying to get your band some exposure, hit me up at itsorry@gmail.com, and I'll show you the details about how to pull that off.
You can also jump on Patreon, and there is a option on the tiers to be able to get your band reviewed. Obviously, we can't lie to you, so we can't guarantee a positive review. Get what you get.
It's just rubbish.
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 That's British for garbage.
My favorite is the community option. $1 at the gate gets you in at Patreon. You get to join an alliance. The alliance joins their points together, and that helps determine what songs that we do.
The alliances hang out on Discord.
Message me on Patreon to get the link.
And they do all kinds of other cool things. They do Minecraft, Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah. It's really a community within the community. Anybody can go in the village, facebook.com/Sorry. There's 160,000+ people on the channel. What's cool about the Discord is that it offers a real opportunity for community connection, friendship, that type of thing.
And it's on Discord, so if you're not a Facebook person, it's for you.
You start off at $1.
Right.
Plus you get exclusives. Sorry and I are working on a song. So the first 15 seconds of that was on Patreon. Also, at $15 tier and above, when we actually debut the video, they're going to be there live with us. There you are, dear listener.
Buy our merch.
Buy our merch, indeed. A child shall lead them.
To buy our merch.
Yes.
You beat me to
Yes,
all
ladies
of it,
and
son.
gentlemen. But aside from our merch, what we about here is the music.
Right. We're about the music, and we're about the village.
Yes, sir.
So we have a DJ on tonight.
Yes,
DJ
sir.
Mike Franco. Woo, 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 woo.
Yes, sir.
And he has got a list on here. Some bands I've never heard of before.
The first band up is a band by the name of Sylosis. The
Which
name
we
of
have
the
heard.
song is Transcendence.
Yes.
I think this is actually a lyric, a lyric video.
That's good for you. Good for
Otherwise
you.
known as a lyric video, you beautiful people. So let's get right into it. Sylosis Transcendence. Let's go. Oh, yeah. Starting right off with that metal, boy.
Whoa!
go. Beautiful musicianship. Beautiful.
Yep.
Beautiful musicianship. Yep. I know of a band that's got Won't Be Long in the chorus.
Yep.
Holy smokes. This is a deep freaking song.
Yeah.
This is a deep song.
Yep.
Holy smokes.
We're talking about like religious, I guess, escapades in conquering and
maybe
people have had to suffer.
Yeah,
I mean,
there's
in the name of religion, his blood be on us and all of our children. Will you? Wait a minute. Where was it? Where? In the name of your God, for thoughts, beliefs, cleansing the earth. Who are you to criticize? You fight for nothing but a lie. You know what I thought was interesting about this?
Yeah.
And shoot, maybe what is this attached to? Is it supposed to be attached to anything?
No, it's
Okay.
nothing. That was
so
one of the chargers that bit the dust.
Oh, well. So I guess probably from spending so much time around you and like nuance, everything. What about the nuance? And it always seems like there's like, when you think you've thought of everything and there's something else that kind of like, oh yeah, I never thought of that.
Yeah.
That does have an effect. So in this song, I was thinking about like, so obviously in Christianity, if you're talking about the flood,
Yeah.
God, it says that that's what he did. He cleansed the earth and all those people died in the flood because there was so much evil continuously.
Yeah.
And so, that is a part of our belief system. But, and maybe this sounds like, I've probably said in my life a couple of things that I was like, this sounds crazy as it was coming out of my mouth. This is kind of like one of those, but it doesn't sound crazy to me. So it may be more crazy than
Just
I
say
expect.
it, damn it. What are you talking about?
So when it said, like, you hear people say, well, we have to watch about population control. And so they'll kill people or children in the name of population control, or not wanting to overpopulate. Is there going to be enough food and stuff like that?
Well, who's actually killing? Who's actually doing that to kill people though?
Well, I've heard it as justification for abortion a lot.
Well, yeah, we covered the big homie. What do you call it? Bernie, when he alluded to that. Yeah, but go ahead.
Okay, so to me, like, if you have to step out of all of those situations and say, I don't have a belief in any of them, and I'm just going to set the facts on the table and try to unemotionally look at it, I think if there is a higher power and he created everything and he said, look, this is the way that life works best and you should live within these confines,
right.
And then people don't, and it wasn't just that people were kind of making mistakes here and there. It says that the earth was full of violence continually, and that was the degree that it had gotten to. And he said, okay, I'm just gonna hit that restart button here, and he cleanses the earth of all that unrighteousness or whatever. Or that's situation A, and situation B is Well, we still have like lots of land that's available to people, and none of us are starving because there's lack of resources. It's a fear that people have. And so let's start killing babies so we don't have to worry about being overpopulated. Or China saying you can only have X amount of kids. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
So if you had both of those and you were to unemotionally look at them, I mean, when I say unemotionally, I mean, you're not connected to either one of them. You don't have stake in either camp. It seems to me that a God that created it, that designed it, and he's the one that decides that things are going to change. I feel better about that than I do about human beings deciding that, well, we potentially could get overpopulated, so let's use that as a reason to kill children.
Yeah. What lyric were you jumping on for that, though?
Well, in the name of your God, for thoughts, beliefs, cleansing the earth, who are you to criticize? You fight for nothing but a lie.
Oh, I see. I see what you're saying. Yeah. That makes sense.
Nations in an eternal war for thoughts, belief centuries old. Yeah, you are merely but a breath away, lost in a moment in taking life.
He starts saying, inside we continue to search for the thoughts, beliefs filling the void. There's nothing but a resolute craving for comfort and powers beyond our control. And the journey begins for thoughts, beliefs filling the void. There's nothing but an empty heart craving for solace amidst the phrase. So it seems to me that this is kind of like saying, you guys made up religion because you're trying to, explain the world. You're trying to explain the inexplicable, and you're trying to find comfort because you don't want to deal with the reality that we're alone in the universe. We got to make it for ourselves.
Okay.
So it seems like the song starts out saying, that's why you guys invented religion, because it's a kind of a typical neo-atheist sort of.
So we're alone, and we don't want to be alone, and so we create a religion.
Right. And then life is meaningless, and you want to create some meaning, so you attach some sort of transcendent meaning.
Yeah, but then why wouldn't we just have a heaven that is degrees of goodness?
Right.
Why would we create anything that could be a hell?
Yeah, I mean it's a very popular thing to say, but I don't think that it stands up to much scrutiny. So, for example, if you say you're craving for meaning, why would you crave for meaning in a universe that began with random purposelessness existence? Mm-hmm. If the name of the game is just pure survival, then on what basis would you try to create transcendent meaning? Because what ends up happening is a lot of times transcendent meaning actually works against survival in many occasions. So, for example, if a person, how many millions of people have willingly died for their religion? And I'm not talking about people going and killing for religion. I'm talking about right now, last century was the bloodiest year for Christian martyrs. And so they willingly, passively died for this religion. And if you look at the first 3.5 centuries of the church, you had Christians that were really... So that belief system actually worked against their survival. Mm-hmm. Right? So that doesn't really explain if the name of the game is pure survival. Furthermore, he's upset that people are taking lives. So, for example, he says, "Will you justify?"
Oh, shit. Is this reputable? This says number of Christians murdered for their faith rose 60% in 2020.
I'm not.
Kind of what you were saying.
mean, I'm not sure. I'm talking about the last century. I'm not even talking about last year.
Oh, okay.
But I'm not just talking about Christian martyrs. I mean, I'm talking about Christian martyrs because we're Christians. But Hindu martyrs, Islamic martyrs, there have been literally millions and millions of people who have been martyred because of their transcendent belief system that worked against their survival. Mm-hmm. So you have to find an evolutionary reason for that. Mm-hmm. Number two, when he says, "Will you justify?" He's assuming that there's some sort of more. We were talking about this yesterday, where the neuroscientists were saying that the neuroscientist was basically saying, look, we know we don't have free will, but but studies have shown that if people don't believe in free will, then they become less
very
moral.
Bad.
And so then the neuroscientist was saying it would be irresponsible for us to tell these people that they don't have a free will. To which I responded, yeah, but if he doesn't have a free will, then the neuroscientist can't help but be irresponsible. Right. But he was speaking as if there was some degree of responsibility and culpability. Mm-hmm. So which is it?
Right.
Yeah. So the name of the song is really interesting because the name of the song is...
Because you were saying if we have no responsibility... and everything is chosen for us, then you can't say it's irresponsible of them to convey that information to the
Well,
the
correct.
populace.
And if the sky is empty, then we can't be upset at people for killing other people. You're just stardust, man.
Right,
You're just random, purposeless stardust with no
Yep.
meaning or purpose in the world, other than for the few moments that you're around. I mean, Earth is. I mean, the universe is what 13.77 billion years. You're going to be around for 60 to 80 spins on the planet max. So who cares?
Yeah.
There's on what basis can you be angry at a person for systemically massacring people? It's just space dust, bro.
Right.
And people say, well, we can assign meaning. Even though we don't have objective meaning, we can assign meaning. That's fine. You can assign meaning if you want. A person, I know people that assign transcendent meaning to an ant. I don't. If I see an ant in my house, I'm going to squash him. So, I mean, that's where you are. If you say the sky is empty, there's no God, all this came about randomly, okay, cool. You hold human beings to some, he's angry that people are killing human beings in the song.
Yeah.
And is it okay if we kill human beings for other reasons other than religion? I mean, at the end of the day, if there is no God and there's no such thing as a soul, they have no choice but to do that anyway. I mean, everything, I'm assuming a physicalist worldview with this guy. So if physicalism is true and everything is just, you're just a machine and you're just doing what your brain is making you do based on all these, 11 trillion counterfactuals that get you to where you are, then on what basis can you be angry at a person?
I mean, I don't think you can.
So those are kind of some of the questions where I'm like,
Yeah. These beg an answer.
If nations in an eternal war for thoughts, belief centuries old, you're merely but a breath away, lost in the moment and taking a life in the name of your God. For thoughts, beliefs, cleansing the earth. Who are you to criticize? You fight for nothing but a lie. So this is a guy who's making a truth claim now. You're saying that what they're fighting for is a lie. That means that you believe in the truth.
Right.
Because a lie is a negation of the truth, right? Well, how can you have any ultimate truth about anything? If everything came about randomly, then how can you presume to know what the truth is?
That is such a funny question. Yeah.
Especially
You can't. That's so funny.
This is the stuff we've been talking about.
How arrogant if it was like that. Like, okay, everything's random, but you figured
it out.
Wow.
And
that's some QAnon shit right there.
Yeah, and then it's like you believe in things centuries old. Guys, this is what C.S. Lewis called chronological snobbery. Where because something was centuries old.
Oh, yeah.
Guys, math was not invented yesterday.
Right.
I was just watching this thing on the pyramids where I think this pyramid in Giza was like 0.0003 centimeters away from true north.
Oh, wow.
Which is good night. That is like some heavy ass math. Unless you're going to say that randomly happened, which some of these folks believes that machine can randomly assemble themselves and work in a systemic fashion that produces a result on a consistent basis. But the idea that just because something is old, it's irrelevant, doesn't work, because literally we've built our entire society on the oldest things in the world. So, for example, the wheel is still here.
Right. And like you said, math, that's something.
The wheel was here thousands of years ago.
That's the thing. When there's something that's been tested over centuries, the longevity of how long something has been around, or how long it was since it was first used, the question is, did it continually get used throughout the centuries? And if it didn't, if it was something that kind of fell off, like they didn't used to wash their hands with soap when they were doing, surgeries. They just kind of rinse with water and go on to the next one. And they were passing all these diseases to everybody. Well, guess what? That was the way it was done in the olden days. We don't do it like that anymore because we figured out that was wrong. And there are things that we're going to continue, like a wheel. We make adjustments on, put some rubber around it. Like, how can we make it a little better, a little smoother? But the wheel is the wheel because it was... Right. When it was created, that was it. The same thing with math,
harnessing
all those
fire.
things. And our religion has its roots in in Judaism. So it goes way back. So
and
it's
Judaism
been tested.
has its roots in
It's been tested and tested and tested, and it's stood up in councils, and people have died over this to keep the information.
Well, listen, the Western world is mostly
Question.
influenced by Christianity. That's a fact.
Yep.
And we've got people on the moon.
Yep.
And the Eastern world is not mostly influenced by Christianity. And they still have a caste system. I've been to India.
Right.
So like
they're still fighting their wars.
It's beneficiaries of people who are beneficiaries of a Christian worldview, who are now borrowing from the Christian worldview to criticize the Christian worldview.
Yeah.
Now, if a person were to say, you're living inconsistent with your stated beliefs, I'm with it. Mm-hmm. I'm with it. But the minute you say, this is a lie, et cetera, because, with all these assumptions, I'm like, cool, but explain to me from your worldview how you even get to the point of saying something is a lie. Secondly, ask any neuroscientist, ask any cognitive expert. Evolutionarily speaking, we do not see the world the way that it is. We see the world according to what's going to get us the most fitness payoffs. In other words, and this is Donald Hoffman. If you're playing a video game, right? You're playing Fortnite. You're actually participating in not programming, but manipulating the program of a computer with a bunch of zeros and ones. If you actually saw Fortnite for what it was, you'd see a bunch of zeros and ones and all the rest of it. They purposely hide that from you so that you can operate within the game, and that is how evolution works with our perceptions. Mm-hmm. So none of us are seeing the world for Kant talked about this, but this has been proven mathematically, and I can get you the documents if you like, dear listener. But we do not see the world for what it actually is. We see what's going to get us the minimum energy possible to get us to survive and to mate, basically. Yep. So if we know that that's true, how in the world can we make these grand criticisms and say...
wait a minute. That's the original command, be fruitful and multiply and fill the earth.
Correct.
So it's funny that the fitness payoffs fulfill that command.
Correct. That
maybe
works.
There's some logic here.
That works in our worldview, right?
Yeah.
It's like God knows that our minds are limited, and so he's gonna give our perceptive abilities what's going to accomplish why we're here in the first place.
Right. Ephesians 6:12 for all you Christians who are like, why are you? That's not in the Bible. That things are not as
nations
they
in an
seem.
eternal war for thoughts, beliefs centuries old. You're merely but a breath away, lost in a moment, taking a life in the name of your God. Of course, again, this is sort of this mythology that if we didn't have religion, then we wouldn't have war. My brother, and Franco isn't saying this. I'm just operating within the universe of the song. That's not true.
No.
Go tell. The last century was the bloodiest century in human history. And it was not fought over religion. It was fought over land and resources and the Treaty of Versailles, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah, that's
and that just gets completely... Whoop.
And you can see it anywhere. Like, it doesn't just have to be... Like, go to a daycare and just sit there and watch the kids. What are they fighting about? They're not fighting about religion. They're fighting about resources. I want this. You have it. I want that. It's grabbing. And it's and the same thing is true, when you move into a job. I mean, of course... you'll see people, that's why they say if you get a raise, do not say anything to anybody else. You're supposed to keep that to the chest because how people react to those kinds of things.
Here's Captain Corpse. I guarantee that the majority of the people who send people to the moon were most likely atheist. Captain Corpse, if I could prove to you that that's not the case, would that make you a Christian? That's just a demonstrably false. Again, look, the scientists who've had the most influence in the Western world.
From whence do you get your confidence, young man?
Who created calculus? I mean, but again, this is what happens. I would invite a lot of my atheist friends. Read Bertrand Russell. Bertrand Russell has a book, and he's got a bunch of problems. And now he was an atheist, but he's got a bunch of problems that he challenges atheists to solve. One is induction, the problem of induction, which has to this moment been unsolved from an atheist vantage point. So, for example, why do the laws that we have continue and remain static? Why does gravity work tomorrow? Why is the sun going to rise in the east tomorrow? Why is that? It's never been able to be answered. This simplistic world that the scientists and the smart people are atheists and religious people can't think. I'm sorry, guys. That just indicates you haven't done enough reading. I'm not talking about your intelligence. I'm just talking about your breadth of experience. Okay? The last century, if you want to complain about bloody wars that have taken human lives in bunches, the last century was the most brutal century. World War I, World War II, I'm sorry, those were not fought over religion. Those were fought over good old things like resources, etc., etc. The Bolshevik Revolution was a justifiable revolution to a degree in my mind. Then it metastasized into something absolutely horrific under communism. And I'm a guy who is very friendly and sympathetic to a guy like Marx. Because up to a year and a half ago, I was completely ignorant of Marx. I was challenged by somebody on the channel who said, clearly you haven't read any Marx. And I said, you're right. And so I began to read Marx, and I agree with a lot of what he said. And I'm grateful to God that Mr. Marx is on the planet. But it cannot be avoided that the brand of atheist communism that we saw in the Soviet Union brought untold misery to untold millions of people, and they were decidedly and explicitly atheist republic. I'm not going to blame atheism for that. I blame human nature for that. Whether you want to call yourself an atheist or whatever, or you want to call yourself a Christian or a Muslim, the impulse in the human spirit is to eat up as much resources as he can and live in such a way that he has the least amount of accountability to anything but their own desires. And so we know that that's inherently wrong, and so we have to come up with an ism to try to justify that. So I do not blame atheism for what happened in communist Russia. Ultimately, what I blame is human nature. But if you're going to try to blame religion for deaths, then okay, if we want to live in that simplistic world, then okay, then we have to blame atheism for what happened in communist Russia. So I just think that the worldview is a little bit simplistic here. But I love the fact that this guy has moral outrage. Yeah. Because even though the moral outrage is not consistent with his worldview, I love that he has it.
Yeah, here's a good one. This might be good for. Whoops. And now we are cursed because all these events are his will, and we have to suffer because of it. And you expect us to worship him? Ha!
Well, I expect you to worship him because he's your creator and he's worthy of it. But look, man, again, if you say all these events came about because of his will and we have to worship him, you're implying that there's some ultimate standard that God should be held to, which I agree with, by the way. But if you're an atheist, it is impossible to say there is an ultimate standard. The best you can do, I was in a debate one time with an atheist, and I said, so there's no God, there's no objective morality. He said no. And I said, okay, so morality is based on people's opinion. He said yes. I said, like color of a shirt. I like blue, you like red. He said yes. I said, okay, so I'm against pedophilia, but the other guy is for pedophilia. So, hey. He said, no. And I said, I'm glad you said that, but it's completely consistent with your worldview. Yep. Right? Yep. I could say, as a Christian, of course you should be a pedophile because all of us are created in the image and likeness of God. And so we're worthy of glory and honor. Yep. And to violate another human being is to violate God in a sense. And that the principle biblically from Genesis to Revelation is that the strong should always care for the weak. Right. And so I asked the kid, I said, what worldview created handicapped parking spots? Survival of the fittest did not give us handicapped parking spots. Nope. So I get it, bro. I get it. And I think I said this in another broadcast. The problem of evil, I do not believe can be argued. You cannot intelligence somebody into the problem of evil. There's got to be a mixture of intelligence, experience, and emotion, because every time somebody brings up a problem of evil issue, they're talking from their experience and their emotion, because everybody has felt the ramifications of sin in the world. Yeah. And so I think a lot of the mistakes that Christians make is to say, oh, this person, this is how I can deconstruct this argument and blah, and then, but it's like you haven't dealt with the fact that this guy saw his mother waste away of cancer. Yeah. And there's no intelligent argument on the planet that is going to solve that problem. Yeah. So I understand that as well. I completely understand that as well. And what I would say is that God is big enough to deal with that kind of that kind of argument. And if he's not, then he's not God, in my opinion.
Yep. I'd agree with that.
So, but holy smoke, sonically, this was such a badass song.
The two voices.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah. Right from the beginning, it was great.
So good. It was so good. This song, I have to say, it's a banger to start out the stream with.
It really is.
It really sets a high standard. Mike, I hope you knew what you were doing.
I was thinking about this, like, you know, with the first Korn record, it started out with Blind. It was like, you know, like, I was like, damn, like, but that's the thing. Like, some people know how to, like, okay, he's got like a logical kind of thing. Like, we got to start it with a banger, smack people in the mouth, wake people up. I just thought that very, very, very smart. Very, very smart. Here's BC. Democracy gave us handicap parking. Also, it's not called handicap parking anymore. Democracy did not give us handicap parking. Handicap parking comes with an assumption that the weak should be protected and prioritized by the strong. Mm-hmm. Disabled people or physically challenged people are always in the minority.
Right.
Democracy does not give us that. We had democracy when we had the transatlantic slave trade. We had democracy during the civil rights movement in the 60s. So democracy doesn't get us there. There's been a consistent strand of thought that has gotten us there, namely that everybody is equal in value. Mm-hmm. And BC, I'm sorry, but the concept that all human beings are equally valuable is not a given. It wasn't a given in the ancient world. It wasn't a given in Greece. Certainly wasn't a given in Rome. It's not a given now in on the eastern side of the planet. Mm-hmm. Like I said, I've been to these places. Human equality, whether male, female, child, children's rights, all this stuff. Mm-hmm. These are not givens. The idea that human beings are equal is a distinctly Judeo-Christian ethic based on the Imago Dei, or the image of God. Mm-hmm. Democracy is a political idea, but it does not need to be activated with the idea that everybody is equal. So no, democracy did not give us handicapped parking spaces. Survival of the fittest didn't give us handicapped parking spaces. Man. The Imago Dei, the image of God, gave us handicapped parking spaces.
Yeah. If there was a way to, that discussion that you were having with your little buddy there.
Yeah.
If you could shrink that discussion down to be like a 5-minute clip, it would fit perfect right here.
Which one?
Well, because you're talking about like what gives people value and stuff, and then the conversation that you were having in regards to slavery in the scriptures.
Oh yeah, my buddy. Yeah, but that's a private conversation.
I literally just said if it could be shrunk down and inserted.
But even if I could shrink it down, I wouldn't, because it's a private conversation with my buddy.
No, the information, babe, not your private conversation. Just the information. Because he goes, like, when you're going into it and you're seeing that, like, how the scripture, how it went with other writings of its time, how advanced it was.
Yeah.
And the only way that you could have that is if you have an understanding that people were made in the image and likeness of God.
Correct.
And that's why it has the views that it does.
Yeah. Which is the assumption that...
Alas, I don't have those scriptures.
Everybody in the Western world has this idea that everybody's equal.
Yep.
We just assume that in the Western world, people are equal. And that's why we talk about rights. The founding fathers, by the way, did not believe that we had rights just because. Mm-hmm. The founding fathers said, we hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, endowed with inalienable rights given to them by their creator.
Yep.
So they didn't start this country saying, hey, everybody has rights and that's just axiomatic. They said it was self-evident because they assumed a creator. Even the deists. People say they weren't a Christian, they were deists. Yeah, but the deists still believed in a God. So, again, I just want to be historically accurate. Mm-hmm. Were the Crusades horrible? Absolutely. But they were horrible because I believe there's a God and we're created in the image of God.
Yeah.
If you say there is no creator and the sky is empty, then you can't say they're horrible. You just have to say, in your opinion, you didn't like that particular episode in human history. Mm-hmm. And and there's no, shout out to the big homie. You know what? I would love for one of my atheist friends to read The Poor Man's Worship. It's a small essay by the big homie Bertrand Russell. you could read it in one sitting. Read The Poor Man's Worship and then come back to me. And I'd love to have a dialogue and discussion about it, because The Poor Man's Worship, I've quoted for 3 years on this channel.
Oh my gosh.
And none of my atheist friends to this moment have interacted with it.
Uh-oh.
So please
somebody read that. Interact with Vinny.
I understand, Sam Harris and all is very influential, but there were people around before Sam Harris that did a lot more thinking than he did on a philosophical level.
I wonder percentage-wise how many people on our channel are avid readers. I'd love to see those numbers, because you don't know. Like my mind is like, oh, there must be a lot of readers, and then I'm like, well, it doesn't necessarily mean that, because people have opinions, and it doesn't mean that they've read anything about which they have opinions on. But anyway, this is a 9.9 for me.
9.9. Hey, big homie Dan's in the house.
He's been throwing super chats.
He's a white woman in distress.
Yeah,
Shout out to the big homie Dan.
Pass me the roll of tissues there.
You gotta text me, bro. We used to talk like every other day. Then all of a sudden, the homie stopped texting me.
When he said that, I was going to be
white woman. Is that the white woman? Okay, this song is a 10 for me.
Oh no! Okay, I cannot be outdone by you.
I love the harmonies.
10 for me.
I love all of it. It's great.
Honestly,
Great.
Mike, I'm having a hard time giving it a 10 because I'm afraid that I'm setting up your stream to just be like 10. So that's why I was like 9.9. But you know what? I'm not going to make a decision out of fear. I'm going with a 10. It's a 10.
Really?
10 for Vinny.
Really?
Yes.
Really now?
Really. All right, next up on our list, you guys, is, I was going to say Metal Cat. No, that's going to be our next DJ.
I'm on crack, guys. It's the free man's worship, not the poor man's worship. The free man's worship.
Oh.
The free man's worship.
And nobody corrected you. That means nobody has a friggin' clue. They went, actually. Okay. Yeah, we're coming up next with another
10.
banger. 10, 10, 10,
It's a 10.
10.
It's a 10. It's a 10.
10's
DJ
all
Franco started out hardcore. Much love to all the other DJs in the world, but holy smokes, DJ Franco with a banger and a really thought-provoking thingamajiggy. If you're in regular YouTube world, we're going to check you later at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you're in the stream with us because you're awesome, stick around, because sit tight. We got more stuff for you. Vid out.
Sorry out.
Gone. All right, guys, commercial break, and then we're going right back into it.
I'm sorry.
If you would like to get your song reviewed, dear listener, there's the Filthy Capitalist option. As Sorry says, 125 gets you straight to the head of the line. You don't have to be a part of the alliance. You don't have to be part of the group.
Wait a minute.
And the biggest thing is you don't have to wait. You hop, skip, and jump right in front of everybody. 125 gets you there. You do that 3 times, and then get mashed down to the $75 rate for perpetuity.
Yes!
Also, there is a band review option. So if you've got a band and you're trying to get your band some exposure, hit me up at itsorry@gmail.com, and I'll show you the details about how to pull that off.
You can also jump on Patreon, and there is a option on the tiers to be able to get your band reviewed. Yep. Obviously, we can't lie to you, so we can't guarantee a positive review. Get what you get.
It's just rubbish.
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 That's British for garbage.
My favorite is the community option. $1 at the gate gets you in at Patreon. You get to join an alliance. The alliance joins their points together, and that helps determine what songs that we do.
The alliances hang out on Discord.
Message me on Patreon to get the link.
And they do all kinds of other cool things. They do Minecraft, Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah. It's really a community within the community. Anybody can go in the village, facebook.com/VinandSorry. There's 160,000+ people on the channel. What's cool about the Discord is that it offers a real opportunity for community connection, friendship, that type of thing.
And it's on Discord, so if you're not a Facebook person, it's for you.
You start off at $1.
Right.
Plus you get exclusives. Sorry and I are working on a song. So the first 15 seconds of that was on Patreon. Also, at $15 tier and above, when we actually debut the video, they're going to be there live with us. There you are, dear listener.
Buy our merch.
Buy our merch indeed.
And a child shall lead them.
What?
The last time you said it, and a child shall lead them. So I never know where I'm supposed to be on that one. Whatever, you guys get the point. Buy our merch.
Shout out to we got mad Latinos in the house today. Jesse in the house. Hey, Vlad's in the house. Captain Corpse in the house. We in good shape.
Yep,
y'all.
Here we are. We're DJ Mike Franco is in the house.
Yeah. The big homie.
Oh, I see. You spelled that wrong. There's a lot of N's. I'm like, all right.
It's Franco!
Oh, yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
He deserved it.
But I only saw the two N's coming on. Like, there's not supposed to be two N's. And then
Bronco Billy in the house. What's good?
right.
What's good?
This song that we have coming up next is called Crush, Kill, and Destroy.
Yes, Pinky.
Very uplifting song on your way. What's the name of this band, babe? I'm going to let you read that because I want you to participate with me.
Sarcofago, which is probably like Espanol for sarcophagus. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a death type of thing. Anyway, here we go. Crush, kill, destroy, Sarcofago. Hey, finally my buddy messaged me. I know you've been working, bro, but I mean, send your brother a text here and there. That's all I'm saying. Okay. Crush, kill, destroy, Sarcofago. Let's go! Nothing but metal today, sir.
Turn it up.
Woo! Thrash! Thrashy!
Oh boy.
Whoa. 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 Woo! Give me some tremolo. Let's go! What? Talk to me. Damn. That was some
A mega
shit. Man, listen.
That's great.
To Vlad's point, lots of foreign talent went unnoticed on a wider scale in the heyday of metal.
Oh man, I bet.
These guys
I bet.
apparently they influenced Sepultura, which makes a lot of sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But damn, it was just you know how I say like, you know you put something soft in the middle because you're tired, like it just practically you're just tired, like no break here. Like the first time I really realized the importance of that was the first Slipknot concert I went to because they were doing that self-titled record.
Yeah.
And it was just and there was no breaks, nothing. Because the next song was like, "Let me have a brand new eye, motherfucker." We haven't done that song yet, but like, it just no breaks, bro.
I'm gonna brand your eye.
I think he's saying, "Look me in my brand new eye."
Oh, a brand new eye. I was like,
But
look, I'm gonna
it's like
brand
you
you
can't
in
see
the
California without Marlon Brando's eyes, and then in the breakdown, when they slow it down, it's "Look me in my brand new eye." But even when they slow it down, it was still so heavy. So by the time it got to Wait and Bleed, I was like, thank God, because it was I felt the hate rise up in me. So it was like you had a little break, but this is one of those bands, bro. No break. This is one of those bands like you got to go to the gym and run 2 miles and clock a 6-minute pace for a while to be able to keep up with these dudes, man. Because
Oh yeah, for sure.
holy smokes!
For sure.
Apparently they had a feud with each other.
No
yeah,
way.
I mean I could see that. I could see that because I'm assuming Sepultura got way bigger than them, but
But they might have been.
they influenced them.
See, that's the thing that I like about YouTube and social media is that it forces people to like the music is okay. This is what the people like. It's not that a record label decided
Right.
what society was going to have.
Right.
Now
Right.
everything's out there. You can put your stuff up on a YouTube channel and your stuff could go viral. There's so many things that can happen for people now
Yeah.
if they're legit good, where they can make a name for themselves without having to be at underneath someone's boot.
Yeah. Oh no, I can't do that now. When I was when I was trading because I had to go off somewhere, I was hitting those, but not now. Just for clarification.
Oh my God. He did one. It was under 6 minutes.
Yeah, I mean it was a 5-minute thing, but that was
I
only
thought he
one.
died.
That was only 1 mile. That wasn't 2 miles.
Yeah, I thought
you
he
know
died.
what I'm saying.
He was running so fast. It was like that was the first time I ever tried Red Bull. And I was like, oh man, he's going to be eating my dust. I really, really thought I was going to be faster than you, babe. And then, because I thought I was training more than you, but I didn't realize you were doing double runs. So anyway, so we're out there and like, I'm like cruising and I felt like a lot of energy from that Red Bull. And then here comes Vinny. He goes past me. I was like, yeah, well, he's not going to pass me twice. I can guarantee you that. There he goes again. He made it to the 1 mile mark like
It was like 5 minutes, 15 seconds.
it was crazy, and then he just hit the ground, boom. And I was like running by. We were only friends at the time, and I was like running by. I was like, oh, do I want to stop my time, or is he all right, or you know what I mean? Like I was like, if I don't stop and check on him, and he died over there, I'm gonna feel like a really terrible person. But if he in fact is all right, I'm glad I didn't stop my time. He was all right.
I was all right. But this song is like to prep for
Man.
like this Sepultura and Slipknot. Can you imagine like going? Well, Slipknot has a lot of slow songs now to where it's not like it was before.
I mean,
Like
yes,
but this
I never saw
song.
it before. Now when I see it, I'm like, these people are crazy. There's fires, there's bats.
Yeah.
With Slipknot, you know.
Yeah. Like,
But yeah, so have you ever heard of this band before?
I've never heard of these people before.
That's so sad, right? Well, I mean, just because we don't know about
it
it.
It is sad because everybody knows, like, I'm a Neanderthal when it comes to my metal.
Yeah.
Like, I love dreamy shit and all that, but, like, everybody knows, like, I love that, you know, what is it? Webb calls it knuckle dragging music. Webb has been in. Webb has been in here, by the way. It's just that people don't know that it's him. He comes in under pseudonyms. What's up, Betty?
Oh, are you sure?
I'm sure. Yes, I'm sure.
Oh, nice.
But it's like it's just really, really, really heavy shit.
Yeah. This had a sort of classic sound to it, though.
What year was that? Scroll down. Was it like the 90s? It's been the 90s, right?
That's so interesting because
91. Yeah.
Now it's so I feel like I'm getting a little bit better at categorizing
the
music.
Law of Scourge.
Yeah, and look at that. Holy
That's the name of the record, y'all. The Law of Scourge. Talk to
that
me.
woman is suffering peacefully. Is she dead?
Anyway, go ahead. Say what you were going to say.
But I was gonna say, I don't know. I think this is like late 80s.
Yeah, late 80s, early 90s.
And then it turned out to be so.
Well, I'm certain a lot of those songs
were. That was a little exciting for me.
A lot of those songs were written in the late 80s.
Yeah,
I'm sure.
That was exciting for me because I haven't been good at categorizing music for my entire life. So that was like the first one where I'm like, all right, you know what? I'm gonna take a stab at it. And I thought to myself, late 80s. All right, okay, so I am not a fan necessarily of that vocal style, but I can appreciate it now, even though it's not my thing. I can appreciate what he was doing. Like, there is a type that I'm like, no.
My favorite death vocal is Nergal.
Well, he kind of reminded me in spots of Nergal.
Did you? Okay, thank you. Well, Nergal reminds us of him, right? Basically. Well, I don't know, because Nergal's been around for Behemoth's been around for a while. But keep going.
So he did remind me of some of that. And there was a song, I won't be able to tell you, maybe you guys will be able to help me out, but there was a song that was kind of like that, the crush, kill, destroy. There was another song where they did that.
Well, that's like a common metal anthem type thing.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Well,
just like that riff that I show you.
Yeah.
Like if you're in metal, everybody in a band has done that riff or some variation of that riff.
Oh yeah, Goth Mom. This shirt is wicked cool, and it even looks better in real life. And it's super comfortable because she was.
Why are we talking about my shirt?
Oh, because she was like, "That's so bad." Well, she thought it was tie dye. It's better than even tie dye. She's like, "A tie dye shirt with a skull on it."
Oh.
Okay, so join my world of evil pain. A smell of lewdness is diffused in the air. The hall is quiet, but soon you'll screech. So do it with hate. We're the masters of our own desires. Scream for it. Do it loud. From your first victim, life ends. Bathing in his blood, you'll come. Ooh, I actually didn't focus on these lyrics. Show me your lust. Show me your hate. Give us the power to desecrate. Gods of cruelty, gods of sin, show us the way to win. Whoa. Can you imagine if we were listening to this back in the day around our parents?
Well, I was listening to shit like this around my parents.
Like, around them?
Yeah.
What?
I mean, they could hear, my mom could hear all that shit.
Oh, no.
But she was going to a very, very wise church that had a very wise pastor.
Chill out and let you do it?
Yeah. I could tell because I had just moved back in with her. We couldn't live together anymore. It's so I stayed with my brother for a year and a half. Mm-hmm. And then she basically demanded I come back home. She told my brother, I'm going to call the cops if you... So he's like, all right, fine. You got to go back home, bro. Because I was 16 years old or whatever. And she's like, and you're not going to be playing none of that Satan. The music of Satan. And I was like, nah, I am though. Because I was like, okay, I'm just going to get kicked out again. And my brother's not going to let me be in the street. That was my plan. So I started blasting my corn and suck my dick and fucking life.
Oh my god!
Where's the putty with the funny money anyway? And for some reason, I'm waiting for the knock on the door. She never knocked on the door. I would leave my room a giant mess. I'd come home. It would be
sometimes God just come through.
Position. Yeah. There'd be a little Bible on it.
Really?
I had bought everything I could find with corn. My entire wall was corn. And then I bought this magazine and it was the sex edition and it had Jonathan on there. Remember with the girl, his mic stand and all that. Uh-huh. and she completely cleaned my room. And there was my magazine on my bed.
She left it.
Yeah.
Wow.
And
yeah.
And the only thing I didn't leave out there was like, you know, the stuff I would take to go to school. And, you know.
Oh.
I didn't leave that around because I didn't want her to know I was carrying that shit because she would have. But but they were very wise because it worked.
Well, sometimes parents get a bit of wisdom on stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whatever. Yep. It's crazy too because the church that she was going to some church in Manhattan, mm-hmm. and one of them actually gave me and the girl I was with at the time like one of those little invitations to go.
Oh, really?
And it turned out it was my mom's church, but they didn't know who I was from Adam. But
nice. So they were active.
Yeah, they were active. It was a really, really good church, but I never stepped foot in there, not once. So I'm sure they're like, oh, they failed or whatever. But like to this day, I remember them, like for what they did.
So interesting.
But yeah. I was playing this shit in my mom's. I was like trying to draw her out.
Oh, I know. I did that one time. It's not actually a funny story, but I decided that my life had run its course. I was 16 and I thought that all the world was coming to an end and I was just going to kill myself. And it's so weird because it's like now I look back and I'm like, really? I mean, it was such a big deal at the time and it was very painful. And so, you know what I mean? But now I'm like, that was like literally a sliver of my life that I'll never live again. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. But when you're in the middle of it, sometimes, you know, you're irrational. So anyway, I decided that was it. That was the night. And my mother knew. So she knew like something was up. She came into my room. And you guys know, my parents were super strict. I was 16 years old. They were still extremely strict. No cursing. I mean, we couldn't even call each other stupid for crying out loud. So my mom came in my room. She sat beside my bed. And all I wanted her to do was leave so I could, you know, do all the things that I had already planned. And so she sat by my bed. And I was talking about somebody that she knew that she would have wanted me to have some respect for, but that person was the locus of that particular pain that was causing me to say, you know what, I'm done now. So she's sitting by my bed and I was like, I know how to make her leave. And I said, that person is a fucking jerk. And I said the F word and my mom just sat there and she didn't even move. She didn't even flinch. Not even nothing. She didn't move. And I was like, yo, maybe she didn't hear me. And so I like waited a couple more seconds and I was like, they are a fucking asshole. And she just sat there and she just looked at me, not even like with judgmental eyes, nothing. It was just like she was listening. Like I said, sometimes I want to throw marshmallows at them. I'm so angry. Like she made no reaction at all. And so I was like, okay, well, this isn't going to work. And you know, I mean, I survived the night. Here I am. But
here you are.
She prayed like crazy for me. Like eventually she said that like she knew it was time for her to leave the room, but she did stay for a long time. And then she tried to get my boyfriend to call me because she thought that would help me. But
was he your boyfriend at the time though?
I don't think so. Maybe he wasn't. Maybe we were just friends, but it was heading in that direction. Oh. She thought that he didn't have influence over me like that. If you would have been my boyfriend and that would have been totally different. But he didn't have an influence. I felt bad for him. I felt bad for him because I was like, I'm going to kill myself tonight. You know, this is over between us. You know what I'm saying? But it turned out I was and everything worked out, you know, whatever. My mom prayed like crazy and her prayers were answered.
That's a crazy...
Everything that was supposed to be where it was to help me ensure my end was then missing. It would just turn into this big... You know how I am about stuff like that too. Like, I don't like extra complications. That was supposed to be there. That friggin' sat there for literally months. That night, that item was gone.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
But I'm assuming your mom...
She says, I think I might have moved it, but she doesn't know. And to be honest with you, if she moved it, either way, God was behind it. Because if she moved it, the fact that she even knew it was there, and like, you know...
Yeah.
My mom, God love her, but she likes to keep a lot of stuff. So I don't think she would have... God either showed it to her or God moved it himself. There's no other way to explain it.
And here you are to this day.
Yep. So here we are. So
yeah, shout out to the moms.
But yeah,
this song is aggressive. This song is aggressive as hell, bro.
Yeah. I don't think that the song necessarily is like maybe like a good message, like crush the envy, kill your enemies, destroy the bounds.
You don't think it's necessarily a good message?
But I do think that it's very fun to sing.
No shit. Might not necessarily be a good song.
Yeah, and listen how dark. Don't believe in tears or smiles, because worms are our only true friends. A kiss is the eve of a vomit. The feeble will lose in the end.
A kiss is the eve of a vomit.
I know.
That's some brilliant lyricism,
Babe,
bro.
how could you say that about a kiss?
What do you mean? I'm not saying I agree with it. I'm just saying that it's brilliant. A kiss is an eve of a vomit. Like, a kiss is supposed to be something beautiful you do with your mouth, but it's really just a precursor to the disgusting vileness of vomit. It's brilliant. It's a really nihilistic view of the world, and it's like, remember we were talking about it just before. It's like, okay, the sky's empty, man. Go do your shit, bro.
Yeah.
He's like, yo, we're just gonna crush. We're gonna destroy the bounds.
We're the masters
kill
of our own
enemies.
desires.
That's really interesting. Crush the envy. Because
I kept reading that as enemy.
I don't know.
Crush the envy.
It says crush the envy, kill your enemies.
Yeah.
So I doubt very highly it's crush the enemies, kill your enemies.
Okay, so what is it? Are you jealous of your enemies, and that's why you're crushing them?
You know, envy is a distressing feeling to have, and so there's lots of ways that you can use to get rid of the feeling of envy, right? One is to attain whatever the person has that you're jealous of. Yep. Right. Which, you know, like, so if somebody was jealous of me for having the most beautiful girl on the planet, that's not going to work because you're not going anywhere.
No, I'm not.
The second is to say, you know what? I don't need that. And I'm going to be happy in what I have, right? Mm-hmm. Which is probably the most healthy way of doing it. Mm-hmm. Or the third way of getting rid of the feeling of envy is to just destroy whatever it is that has the thing that you want and just take it.
Oh no!
So crush the envy. How? Kill your enemies. Destroy the bounds.
Wow.
I'm not gonna hold myself to any boundaries, bro. I'm going for my shit.
Yeah, but don't you think it's interesting that person is saying, "Okay, do this. Crush the enemy. Crush the envy." The way that they're saying it, it's so like this is what needs to happen. But the very next line: "Join my world of evil pain." A smell of lewdness is diffused in the air. The hall is quiet, but you will soon screech. Do it with hate. That doesn't sound like a person that's having the time of their lives.
Well, no. Well, what do I always say? Sin is its own punishment. They're not necessarily happy, but you know, it's better. Look, in their mind, if a person gives up on any sort of peace or happiness, then it just becomes an algorithm of competing miseries.
Oh my gosh.
Right? So you go, okay. We're never going to be happy. We're never going to be whole. So what's going to make us the least miserable? Mm-hmm. So he's not saying, hey, we're going to be happy. What he's saying is, hey, we're going to live without any bounds. And then we can basically reduce ourselves to animals, just basically operate on our lusts.
Yeah.
And not any form of self-control. Ben Bear goes, crush your enemy. Great message. Great message. Well, I mean, there are times when that's a pretty good message. That's all right, guys. Holy smokes! What do you get this song?
Jeez. Okay.
This is very hard to rate.
It is very hard to rate because one, I feel like these people didn't get enough traction.
Yeah, I feel like they didn't get enough love, but maybe we're just saying that out of our metal ignorance.
It could be. It could be.
You know what I'm saying? Maybe they got mad love, and maybe they're like can't walk down the street famous. You know what I'm saying?
That's true. Okay. Well, then I'm gonna have to say.
Let me find out. Vlad has a YouTube channel. Let me find out.
Okay. I guess for me, I'm going to go with a 9.6. Yeah, 9.6.
I got to give this a 9.8.
Destroy.
This is some hard, heavy shiznit. One of the things I would have that was, I don't want to say tragic. That's ridiculous, but I kind of wish there was some better production.
Oh, I didn't notice that in this one.
You know what I'm saying? I kind of wish there was some better production for this particular song.
Huh. I didn't even notice
because I really think that would have taken it to the next level. So that probably separated it from a 10. But I love the vocal styles. I love all that shiznit. So there you are, dear listener.
All right, we've got some Avenged Sevenfold coming.
We got
so
Avenged Sevenfold coming up next. If you're on the stream, stick around. Por favor. If you're not on the stream, you're going to have to check us out at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Nothing can be done.
It doesn't matter. If you miss the stream, you can go back and watch the stream because the streams are actually pretty fun.
Sometimes you can.
Sometimes it gets blocked. So you should be here when it starts.
Actually, one of our streams just got released. I was actually able to win a dispute in YouTube.
Finally. I tried a bunch of those. I didn't win any of them.
Yeah.
I'm like, you know what? This is not my thing. This is you. Give me the video. I'll edit it. You settle the disputes. All right, you guys.
For sure.
Amy Lee Forever just sent us a red box. I don't know what that means.
And I just posted it down there because that's our people.
So I'm sure she has a very good reason for that.
And I told Amy, I said, yo, when you touch down, make sure you text us so we know you touched down safe, because you know how I am with planes and shit. She did no such thing. She didn't listen to us, so forget her. Beat out!
Sorry,
Gone!
She's an independent woman, babe.
Yeah. That's what you guys do. It's what you guys do. All right, guys, we got another jam coming for you, beautiful people. You guys know we got to pay the bills, and we shall return. Are you doing the timestamps, by the way?
No, I already missed. I got the first one. I'm sorry.
If you would like to get your song reviewed, dear listener, there's the Filthy Capitalist option. As Sorry says, 125 gets you straight to the head of the line. You don't have to be a part of the alliance. You don't have to be part of the group.
Wait a minute.
And the biggest thing is you don't have to wait. You hop, skip, and jump right in front of everybody. 125 gets you there. You do that 3 times, and then get mashed down to the $75 rate for perpetuity.
Yes!
Also, there is a band review option. So if you've got a band and you're trying to get your band some exposure, hit me up at itsorry@gmail.com, and I'll show you the details about how to pull that off.
You can also jump on Patreon, and there is a option on the tiers to be able to get your band reviewed. Yep. Obviously, we can't lie to you, so we can't guarantee a positive review. Get what you get.
It's just rubbish.
Rubbish. That's British for garbage.
My favorite is the community option. $1 at the gate gets you in at Patreon. You get to join an alliance. The alliance joins their points together, and that helps determine what songs that we do.
The alliances hang out on Discord.
Message me on Patreon to get the link.
And they do all kinds of other cool things. They do Minecraft, Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah. It's really a community within the community. Anybody can go in the village, facebook.com/VinandSorry. There's 160,000+ people on the channel. What's cool about the Discord is that it offers a real opportunity for community connection, friendship, that type of thing.
And it's on Discord, so if you're not a Facebook person, it's for you.
You start off at $1.
Right.
Plus you get exclusives. Sorry and I are working on a song. So the first 15 seconds of that was on Patreon. Also, at $15 tier and above, when we actually debut the video, they're going to be there live with us. There you are, dear listener.
There you are, dear listener. Buy our merch. Here comes my partner in crime, Vinny. I am Sorry, and we are in the middle of a DJ stream. DJ by the big homie Mike Franco. If you notice, he made this picture down in the corner. We got Pop and Hip Hop. They're fighting. And up comes Metal. And look, they're all running away. They don't stand a chance. Is that dog that keeps poking up in people's videos?
Yeah.
It's like...
Yeah.
All right, so up next on our list is Avenged Sevenfold, and the name of the song is Angels. So this could be a great love song. It could also be a really sad song.
Of course, it's going to be a love song, because you always have some love song, yada, yada,
It doesn't have to be. It could be a very sad song, I said. Anyway, whether it's going to be about a love song or not, I don't know. But we're going to start this song, and we're going to do it right. Vin's going to put it up there, and we've got the lyrics, and we're going to dig right in. Avenged Sevenfold. How could we not? And the album cover is cool. I like it.
Actually,
well, there's a lot
there
of
it
layers
is, and it's got lyrics on it. Okay, let's go. Avenged 7. Can people hear me?
I mean,
I think.
Why wouldn't they be able to hear you?
Okay, now we're good. I've been kind of choppy. Hold on, let me see here. Hello. Type 22 if you can hear me, guys. Like from my thingamajig.
Hello. Can you hear the man? Can you hear the man? So have you seen...
All right, anyway, Avenged Sevenfold. Avenged
they can hear you.
Sevenfold-Angels, let's do it.
Took me years to make my motives clear.
Yikes.
And the days have not been kind. Once a steady gaze and charming smile has me buried in the lines of fine. I walk in the noise, quiet and blood.
Turning that up.
Darkness seems to know just where I am. Mother walks the devil from my hands. Pray the Lord I have the strength to stand. Mother, tell me, was it all a lie? Show me where the angels die. There are words that never found my lips. There are words I'd soon forget. Thought the trick was never to look back, but it seems I lost my grip. The slip, the faster we run now, the closer the gun now. And somehow all the bullets bear my name. Mother walks the devil from my hands. Pray the Lord I have the strength to stand. Mother, tell me, was it all a lie? Show me where the angels die.
I like this one. Wow.
Bum bada bum bada bum. That's from the
That was
the stage.
That was different sounding than their normal the normal stuff
Was
we
it?
usually listen to. It was a lot more chill. But I really liked it. I really, really, really liked that one. I like the sound of his voice.
Yeah, he could sing. I remember
It's chill.
when we first started this channel, we were doing Avenged Sevenfold like every other day.
Back
bro.
to back to back to back.
It was like back to back.
And
It
the
was
more
like
of them
all
we did,
the time.
the more requests we got. And we
Yeah, and
started
all the
realizing
Avenged Sevenfold people started showing up.
we're never going to make it to the top of the Avenged Sevenfold hill and hear them all.
And then it was Tool.
Mm-hmm.
Then we did Sober. I introduced you to Sober.
Yep.
I am gonna.
Then we did that awesome.
Unplug this
We did that awesome live stream where it was like live, listening to the whole album.
Which
the
one?
Tool album. That one was so much fun.
Oh, the Morales record. Yeah.
Took me years to make my motives clear, and the days have not been kind. Once a steady gaze and charming smile has been buried in the lines I find. I walk in the noise, quiet employs, and darkness seems to know just where I am. Mother, wash the devil from my hands. Pray the Lord I have the strength to stand. Mother, tell me, was it all a lie? Show me where the angels die. So, I'm just going to give you like a bloop over what I think the song is about. I think that this was a relationship song that didn't end well, but I wasn't sure if it didn't end well because it says he took the road, but he should have chased the stars. Like he took the road, maybe did the band thing or something like that. And instead of, as far as chasing the stars, I think it was that, like a person. Now I've lost my own way home. Had a photo of the time we shared, but I burned it long ago. I know. I struck all the matches, stuck in the ashes. Forgive me, won't you simply speak my name? Like, I think that he wants to... It kind of made me think of two things. One is the person that pursues one thing when they really want to be in two places. And at the end of their lives realize, shoot, the one that I pursued, that's not... I wish that I would have gone the other direction or tried to find a way to make them both work. Can you just take over? I can hear.
You can hear what? Are you doing the kids?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Well, obviously, anytime I hear something about that, like with moms or whatever, like,
Yeah.
I'm always, I always think about my own mother. So I don't know if like his mother died. These guys.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm not sure. You know, but like I say, I'm always going to superimpose my situation onto it. Just
was there a
'cause
line
people do
that
on
made you
average.
think?
No, I'm just saying, he's talking to his mom and all the rest of it, where angels go to die. So maybe she was his angel. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? So because it says, "Show me where the angels die." So it seems that angels many times for people kind of signify some sort of innocence.
Yeah.
So angels dying, it's like these are perfect innocent beings. Mm-hmm. So them dying kind of indicates the ultimate injustice of the world. It's kind of the same thing with Chop Suey. I cry when angels deserve to die.
Yeah.
Because it's an irony. If they're angels, how could they deserve to die?
Yeah.
Right? So it's so, a dying angel is sort of it's a sort of motif that gets used to talk about, the injustice or the exigencies of life. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Well, I think that maybe people can understand it because even like really terrible people will be like, well, I'm no Hitler. So maybe there's this, maybe we kind of feel like anything wrong that happens to us is sort of like justice to us. Like, injustice. Like, how could this have happened to me? Like maybe we always think that we're the, why do bad things happen to good people? Maybe a lot of us think we're the good people, that why should this have happened to us?
Although I don't get the impression that, he thinks he's a good person.
No.
Because he's saying, "Mother, wash the devil from my hands."
Right. To me, it was he got his hands dirty. He went on his path and he wished that he would have taken a different road. But the road that he took ended up making his hands very dirty. When I say dirty, I don't know what he did, but I think the idea that that's interesting because Pilate said that he washed his hands because he didn't want. He was saying, I have nothing to do with the death of this man. Yeah, so he tried to wash his hands to be like, I'm not a part of this.
I'm just the one with all the authority.
Right. Yeah.
But I'm not. I have nothing to do with this.
Let me do it without doing it. But I think that when he says it, to me, it was. So I used to have this. I had this friend that had done a lot of things in life, and they felt like their hands were not clean because of the things that they had done. And so they were, they would wash their hands a lot. And there was that story too of, well, it was Pilate, wasn't it? That like historically that he kept, like he had a fetish basically after that of washing his hands continuously. Was it Pilate?
No, that you're talking about Macbeth.
Well, what is this story?
Where Macbeth, that's Shakespeare.
Yeah, I know. But
and
tell
then
me
his
what
wife,
the story was.
He killed King Duncan.
Yep.
And King Duncan was good to him, and he did it in treachery so that he could take over Duncan's.
Oh, okay. Yep.
And then his wife was the one, Lady Macbeth was the one that really had, prodded him to do it. So she never got over the guilt. And so there's this, in my opinion, one of the most terrifying scenes in all literature, where she's pacing at night, basically trying to wash her hands, and she's never able to get her hands clean, basically. And she kept saying, "Who knew that the old man that he bleeds so much?" Yada yada yada.
Yeah.
Type of thing.
So that sort of like,
I don't think
mother
it's
washed the devil from my hands.
I'm not sure if it's as extreme as that. To me, it just seems like maybe the more time goes, the less innocent you become. Mm-hmm. And so, in that sense, show me where the angels die, because as time goes on, you all of us on the channel are pretty young still. And so there's this sort of, when you're young, you can kind of deceive yourself into being a good person. But the more and more time goes,
yeah.
If you take an honest assessment, you go, well, holy shit.
If you take an honest assessment.
I've been, you know what I'm saying? So like,
yep.
There are words that never found my lips. There are the words I'd soon forget. Thought the trick was never to look back, but it seems I've lost my grip. I slip, and the faster we run now, the closer the gun now. Which is, again, like, time is catching up on you, and eventually you're going to die or whatever, and life is going to hit you.
Yep.
Shout out to Brazil. Shout out to Patrick Trinidad, sorry. Trinidade. I don't know if I'm pronouncing your name, brother. Sorry. But yeah, like he says, there are words that never found my lips. People talk about things of commission, things you're supposed to do that you didn't do, and then things of omission.
Yeah.
Right. So.
Well, you see it a lot when people talk about loss and people that they've lost, and they'll say like somebody will post that they miss their mother, and then they say, look, if your parents are still with you, or if it was a sibling or a spouse or a child, whatever, like if these people are still with you and you love them and you have refrained from saying it for whatever reason, like stop doing that and tell them that you do care about them, you do love them, because it's so interesting. Like once the person's gone, they're gone. There's nothing, there's no bringing them back. But if you have but you're the one that's left here, and if you have withheld that from somebody that passes on, it's going to increase your suffering. What?
Yeah, I think about that a lot, with the kids. Even though, we're around each other so much, we do so much as a family, it's like, I mean, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So, like that's like, we're not going to see them for the rest of the day. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. It's, you don't get those moments back, you know what I'm saying? We're blessed, like we have another set of very small kids, and we're going to be able to spend a ton of time with them, you know what I'm saying, because of how things are shaping up. And it's not like we haven't, I mean, we spend more time with our kids than in a week than just because we're blessed to be able to
well, we can work. I took my computer, I went down there and I was working with the kids, and they'll still interrupt me while I'm working. But I was like down there for like 6 hours working, and I was like, wow, this is so crazy that there's so many moms that have to leave, and I'm able to, set up streams and cut up streams and do all that stuff right in the living room with the kiddos. But anyway, I think that, like you said, as your life progresses and you're coming to the end, when he said the faster we run now, the closer the gun now, and somehow all the bullets bear my name. Yeah. That was like intense. Wow. But I think that, I don't know. Like, sometimes I think about the things done or the things not done in my life. And like one thing that I want, and I don't know, maybe there's whatever. I want to be proud of the person, like happy at the person that I was throughout my life. Like if, before I die, like if, let's say I'm laying in the bed and I'm old and I think back over my life, like I want to have like a lot of good and happy things to look back at. And, I think that, the times that I've stopped my car to pass money to homeless people, or, different things that we've done that because the village has been generous with us, that we've been able to be generous with other people. Like those moments are so high on the list of like, wow, that was like really cool. Like that was a really, 100%. Really cool. And those are some of my favorite moments, is being able to be generous with other people. And then there's that phrase, it's better to give than it is to receive. And I think that that's true. But this one was pretty... When he said, "Mother, wash the devil from my hands," I was not sure if he chose to be an artist and, and then he left that girl behind because he decided to be an artist instead of, chasing her and what they could have had together. And then, like, what if his mom was like totally against it? And she was like, "You're playing the devil's music." And so now he's like stopped and he's like, "Mom, wash the devil from my hands." It's probably not what it was, but it
well, when you're a kid, that's one of the things that your mom does, is she washes your hands.
Yeah.
And that's a very interesting line, because when you're a kid, it's not like you're incapable of washing your own hands. You just don't care. You want to go play. Mm-hmm. And your mom has to stop you and say, "That's nasty, man." And then she's got to wash your hands because you're ignorant of what germs are.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? You're so ignorant of germs and bacteria. All you can see as a kid is what's in front of you. So your mom has to stop you and wash your hands, and then off you go. Mm-hmm. And so it's wash the devil from my hands, if you take that metaphor. It's like there were maybe spiritual realities or realities about the world or the realities about life that just shit was just in front of him. He wanted to go play, but now you don't have that person to wash the devil from your hands. Like, because your parents have that wisdom.
Yeah.
And inshallah they teach you that wisdom, and when you're young and dumb, because you're just trying to go with what's in front of you. But you still need that.
What did you think about this? Mother, tell me, was it all a lie? What does he mean? Was what all a lie? His whole life?
Well, I just think that like when you get to when you get to be older, not necessarily old, but older, and you realize that you're going to get old, sometimes the meaning of life and all that. I think a lot of people in the village are here. Like people start saying crazy shit about how life is truly meaningless and all the rest of it. And if you can survive out of that, eventually when people hit their 40s and 50s, eventually they start, piecing shit back together. And but, when you're young like us, like you're still trying to figure out the whole point of everything. And you could easily fall into sort of a nihilistic, empty view of life, I think.
Yeah. I think when I read those lines, I wasn't sure if he was saying... Because he says, "Took me years to make my motives clear, and the days have not been kind. Once a steady gaze and charming smile has been buried in the lines I find." So it seemed like he was looking at the way that he has regressed, in a sense. Like, the life hasn't been kind to him. He used to have a steady gaze and a charming smile. That's somebody who's not... People that have a lot of anxiety and stressors, they don't have steady gazes because they're all over the place. And they're avoiding people, and they're this. He's saying he was like that. He used to have a charming smile, and now it's been buried in the lines that he finds. So I didn't know if he was saying he used to have that steady smile and that happiness about him, and then he went and he pursued his dreams instead of pursuing the stars. And now he's at this point where he's like, was it all a lie? Because why pursue something that doesn't bring you, like, why pursue something that drags you down and makes you worse? Yeah. So then is he saying, was all of that I was doing a lie? Because I kept going with this with all of everything that was in me, all the while leaving everything else, leaving the stars. So that's kind of what I was thinking when he was like, was it all a lie? Like, help me figure this out. Like, No, your whole life wasn't a lie. You know, I mean, people pursue things that...
Well, I don't know. I mean, some people's whole lives are lies.
Oh, yeah, I don't think... But this
You know
guy,
what
I
I'm
don't
saying?
think.
I don't know enough about this guy to know whether or not his whole life was a lie. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, you know, there's a lot of people. I mean, we know people whose whole life is a lie.
Yeah.
So, you know,
Yeah.
I wouldn't rush to say, well, of course your whole life isn't a lie. I don't know.
Well, I was going by
Maybe
what he did, because I think that there can be dual motives. The dual things that you want, two things you want to do, you don't necessarily have. Look at you.
What?
All the bright blue. Just because something. Yeah, I don't know.
No, go ahead. Speak your truth, girl.
Well, I'm not sure. I'm walking through it while I'm talking, and so you know. Mm-hmm. If you find yourself. That's the thing. I think that sometimes we can't. We've gone so far into something that it's hard to stop and turn around. But I think that if we were all told, look, we're all growing as people, and you might make a decision, and like time passes, like maybe you know, you've seen people, they'll go to college and then they spend all this money on college bills. Now they have to go back and they have to do that job they went to college for. But then they realize now that they hate that friggin' job. And so it's making it impossible for them to really excel in it because they hate it so much. Well, what if people say stuff? What if people start talking? Because you went to school and you knew what you were going to do, and then you changed your mind and blah, blah, blah. And like, I remember when I was in college, that was like a big stressor for people. People were like, what if I change my mind? And then, you know, and I just remember telling them, like, you are brave enough to leave and go, because we were doing mission work. And I said, if you go on this mission trip and you realize this is not for you, like, you were brave enough to go do that.
It's true.
So all these people that are sitting back in the church that are judging you for changing your mind, they never even put themselves in a situation to even change their mind.
Yeah.
So forget about those people.
Yeah, it's always the people on the sidelines with the crazy
They
opinions.
have everything to say.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah. Show me your resume and then we'll talk.
Yeah.
If you haven't done and you haven't risked like I've risked, don't come in here and tell me. Don't tell us how to run the channel if you don't have a channel. You know what I mean? Like, we wasted so much time with audio issues and people telling us what needed to be fixed, and then obviously you ended up finding it. It's like,
I didn't find anything. It was Amy. Amy was like, "Hey, do Ecamm," because we were a Mac fan. We were a Mac everything. And then, you know, all these PC people, blah, 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 blah. It's like, you guys they had no idea what the hell they were talking about.
Yeah. Well, even when we got the program, you had to figure out things within the program.
Yeah. Oh, like people
and
were saying,
everybody was saying,
the mics are too
this,
close. That's why there's
the
an
mic.
echo.
Yeah,
No,
you know what I mean? Like,
it's the camera. The camera has a mic. And so if you
was the
disable that, that's it. But yeah. I got you. What do you get the song?
I really like this. This is can I do another 10 in a stream?
I mean, if you like it,
I really liked
it's Franco.
it. It's a 10.
It's Franco.
It's a 10, Mike. It's a 10.
Nothing you can
What
do about it. It's a solid 9 for me. Solid 9 for me.
Interesting.
Although I love the solos. I love the solos in there. Shout out to that.
I really like this one.
If you're out there in regular YouTube world, it is what it is.
Yep.
We will check you later at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you're among the righteous and you are with us, sit tight. We have more songs coming from you. Been out.
Sorry, out.
Gone. I said we have more songs coming from you. It's more songs coming for you, but it's too late.
Well, you were speaking to Mike when you said that.
It's too late to apologize.
Right, baby?
What's up, EA? Good to see you, big homie.
You're speaking to Mike when you said that.
Yeah, I was speaking to Mike. Sure.
Right.
Sure.
It's all about you, Franco. All about you. All right.
Time for an intermission song. We shall return. After these messages, we'll be right back. Y'all remember Saturday morning cartoons? Was it just me? I'm Vin.
I'm sorry.
If you a song review, dear listener, there's filthy capitalist option. It sorry says 125 gets you straight to the head of the line. You don't have to be part of the alliance. You don't have to be part of the group.
Wait a minute.
And the biggest thing is you don't have to wait. You hop, skip, and jump right in front of everybody. 125 gets you there. You do that 3 times, and you get mashed down to the $75 rate for perpetuity.
Yes!
Also, there is a band review option. So if you've got a band and you're trying to get your band some exposure, hit me up at instory@gmail.com, and I'll show you the details about how to pull that off.
You can also jump on Patreon, and there is a option on the tiers to be able to get your band reviewed. Obviously, we can't lie to you, so we can't guarantee a positive review. Get what you get.
It's just rubbish.
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 That's British for garbage.
My favorite is the community option. $1 at the gate gets you in at Patreon. You get to join an alliance. The alliance joins their points together, and that helps determine what songs that we do.
The alliances hang out on Discord.
Message me on Patreon to get the link.
And they do all kinds of other cool things. They do Minecraft, Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah. It's really a community within the community. Anybody can go in the village, facebook.com/VinandSory. There's 160,000+ people on the channel. What's cool about the Discord is that it offers a real opportunity for community connection, friendship, that type of thing.
And it's on Discord, so if you're not a Facebook person, it's for you.
You start off at $1.
Right.
Plus you get exclusives. Sory and I are working on a song. So the first 15 seconds of that was on Patreon. Also, at $15 tier and above, when we actually debut the video, they're going to be there live with us. There you are, dear listener.
Buy our merch. I shall lead them.
Buy our merch indeed. The child shall lead them. You're on mute.
Merch.
You're on mute.
I waited for you, and you weren't coming through. So
Once in a lifetime to be called righteous. I don't know about that.
Oh yeah, I used to have a friend in college. Everything was righteous. It
Was that
funny.
like a slang? Righteous.
Yeah,
Or was
but
he,
the
like,
way
serious
he
about
said.
it?
No,
it,
it was anything that was positive. He called it righteous.
I see. Dear listener, we are about to hit an instrumental.
Shout out to the big homie Mike Franco, who is our DJ tonight.
This is Sylosis, who we've already done a song for, which was pretty BA, I must say.
Yeah.
So the name of this song is Where the Sky Ends, and it is an instrumental. So sit back, feel the vibe, don't overanalyze, just feel the vibe, which is ridiculous because I'm the overanalyzer in the village. So what can you do? Nothing can be done.
Preach to yourself.
Nothing can be done.
All right,
I don't preach. Where the Sky Ends, Sylosis, DJ Franco, let's go.
Wow.
That was deep. And I really love the video.
Yeah.
Franco did this video.
Oh, okay.
I would have.
I wonder if there was lyrics at the bottom.
There's no lyrics.
I literally knew that. I don't know. I just saw the writing at the bottom, so I don't know. Forget what I just said. Disregard.
Disregard.
That was so. Okay, answer this because I legit don't know if this was in my head or not. Was there singing in it that didn't have words, just sounds?
No, that was all
instruments.
Guitars, drums.
Oh my gosh. Okay, there was like I could hear what type of vocals should be in there. It was clear as anything. It was super high at some points. Oh man, it was beautiful.
Yeah, you would kill a lot of this stuff for sure.
Oh, I don't know if I could sing the type that was in my head.
You could. We've heard you on a many occasions. Well, the band, your bandmates have heard you. Your bandmates have heard you.
I saw a lot of well, I mean the picture was there, but you felt that energy of like a sunrise.
That's what I'm saying. I loved what Franco did with the video.
Yeah, the picture that put with it. Yeah,
and the camera, the camera was like in focus and all that jazz. Like I just really like it. Was such a good idea. It's one of those things where holy smokes, get that freaking thing off my computer, bro. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm just gonna block you. Force quit. I'm in the middle of work here. See, this is what happens when your kids, they don't get it.
They don't. Right.
What the fuck?
What happened?
I just force quit that thing. Tell her to stop.
Yeah.
Tell her to stop texting me, bro.
Okay. Well, they're texting my phone, but.
Completely inappropriate.
Stop texting. We are working.
Correct.
We'll see you later, you brats. No.
Don't tell her you'll see her later. We're not going to see him later.
Oh, we're not?
The night's over, bro. Bro.
Said we're gonna hang out later.
It's a school night. Out. We started at 8:30.
All right.
Yeah, Ben is right. Guitarists can't sing, but if you're gonna do an instrumental, you know that's gotta be on point.
Oh my god.
You know what I'm saying? Like I've heard some instrumentals from some other bands. Like no disrespect to them, respect to everybody, but you know, the first instrumental I heard, I think, was Orion from Metallica.
Okay.
So that completely set the bar for me for instrumentals. So then, you know, later on, as I heard other instrumentals, I was like, what the hell is this? Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But this, like, it had that dissonance. Like, you had high notes, low notes, you know, low E's, high E's, you know, tempo switches, all that jazz.
And it was so smooth.
And it's communicating something. Without necessarily having to say anything.
Yep.
We've had a couple. There was one instrumental that we did that was it was like based on a video game or something. And it was like just straight heavy, like front to back. I forgot the name of it. Oh yeah. But it was insane. I loved it.
You also played that Final Fantasy one. Was it Final Fantasy? It looks like there's like these cartoony characters in there.
Yeah.
That one was another good one too.
That was Receiving End of Sirens.
Oh, was it?
That had the Final Fantasy. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Figures. They're
that
so
band
good.
Is like the best band in the world.
They're
bro.
so good. Yeah. There are some songs, like I said, where you're like running to catch up with it, or you feel like you're being shoved by the song. This one was like, okay, if there was a soundtrack to the Journey to Heaven, when you were like left your body and you're going up, like this would be a really cool soundtrack for that.
Oh, and it's called The End of the Sky, right?
That's true. Yeah.
Isn't that the
the end of the
where
sky.
The sky ends. Where the sky ends. I had a friend. Shout out to Cara, and we had a chat one time about the universe, and she said to me, we didn't really have a lot of deep conversations. So I was walking her home one day, and like, she asked me this question. And I was like, I had no answer for her. She said, "What's at the end of the universe?" I said, "What do you mean it's at the end of the universe? There's no end to the universe." She's like, "Of course there's an end to the universe. It's a big bang. It's expanding, so obviously it's got an end." And I was like, "Oh yeah." Because we just came out of Mr. Hutchinson's class and we learned about the Big Bang, the expanding universe, 13.7 billion years ago, whatever. Yep. And I was like, I don't know, like heaven, I guess. I don't know. And she was like, Not that she didn't believe in God, because she did. It was just like
not satisfactory.
it was just a bullshit. You just made that up, bro. Like it's questions like that that's kind of like weird. Like, yeah, what is that? And then whatever that is, I'm imagining black. Mm-hmm. You know, some people imagine like a completely white. Like, but how is that not part of the universe?
Yeah.
Whatever's at the edge of the universe after that, how is that not part of the universe? And then it was like, oh, there's a little singularity, right? So I'm thinking, you know, you always picture the little dot, you know, with the singularity. But like, what was outside of the dot? Which would be whatever is outside of the dot would be what would be at the edge of the universe, right? Mm-hmm. But is that not part of the universe? Like, Yeah. Yeah, so I was like, yeah, shout out to T. I was like, yeah, you smoke too much weed, bro. I'm just going to drop you off. You know what I'm saying?
That is interesting, though. Like, how... So, do you think that the universe is like basically like a God's thoughts revealed going out?
Well, yeah, I mean, philosophically, I'm just saying, scientifically, it's a pretty cool exercise.
Have you thought about it a lot?
I think about it a lot, but I don't think there's a beginning to even an answer. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like I have no idea.
I wonder if it's one of those things that like once we're on the other side, we'll be like, oh, really? That's what it was? I can't believe we couldn't figure that out. It was right in front of us. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I almost kind of like play along with like with what Vlad says here. I think it's a mistake to say that God is timeless. If there is a God that created, then obviously it exists in a frame of time, not just our time, another dimension, if you will. And I probably agree with that more than I agree with the statement that God is timeless. But I'm not even sure what time is. Because even when people say eternity, like all you're doing is saying a long, long time.
Right.
That's all. Like because we've never been outside of time, how could you even say, you know?
Yeah.
Is time a physical property? And the other thing is that people, because all of us were schooled by physicalists, we have really difficult problems with concepts like time and things like that because we try to physicalize something that's non-physical. I don't believe in a physical. I mean, I'm not like a Castrop type guy who believes there's no physical, nothing physical, but I'm also not a physicalist either. But I mean, those are really, really cool questions that I think.
Yeah.
I'm sure. I think philosophically we'll figure out an answer, maybe, or theologically somebody will figure something out. But our current rubric of what's called science today, I don't think has the tools to get us to where we need to get to answer those questions. But at the end of the day, I don't know. Maybe those questions aren't supposed to be answered. They're just supposed to be felt, and hence the name of the instrumental.
Right.
Instrumental is a solid 9.2 for me. What do you give it?
9.6 for me.
9.6.
I really think I like this band.
Say again?
Sylosis. I really think I like their band.
Yeah, I agree. Because they were the first band that we did.
Are these the people that, remember when it finished, we went and we listened to the whole track in the room? Was this the band?
No. That was Nishanar or something like that. It was the Ethiopian band.
Okay.
That's a soundtrack.
Yeah, well, I like them both. That's why I kind of thought they were the
that band gets played a lot.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah! Shout out to Amy.
What? That has nothing to do with Amy.
I know, but what?
She didn't come up with that shit.
No, but
that was I don't even know who.
As if you don't know what I'm doing right now.
I think that was
Amy probably knows.
That was actually who's the black metal alliance that we have?
True Cult.
True Cult. That was True Cult. Shout out to True Cult.
Yeah. Okay.
Solid 9.2. What do you give it?
9.6 for me.
There you are, dear listener. If you're in the stream, if you're among the righteous, we still have more for you.
Malevolent creation is up next.
Sacrificial Annihilation. If you're into a band like that, then stick around because they're coming up next. Okay, if you're in regular, that was from Archero. Okay, so Middle Earth knows all. Look at that, boom. If you're in regular YouTube, you're gonna have to check us out later at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Having said that, dear listener, Vin out.
Sorry out.
Gone. Ben Bear goes, sounds like a very wholesome song. Wholesome indeed.
Yeah, it's a funny. Yeah, Mike picks this one, and then the next one's that. That's funny. How he back-to-backed them.
Back to back. I'm Vin.
I'm sorry.
If you would like to get your song reviewed, dear listener, there's the Filthy Capitalist option. As Sorry says, 125 gets you straight to the head of the line. You don't have to be a part of the alliance. You don't have to be part of the group.
Wait a minute.
And the biggest thing is you don't have to wait. You hop, skip, and jump right in front of everybody. 125 gets you there. You do that 3 times, and you get mashed down to the $75 rate for perpetuity.
Yes!
Also, there is a band review option. So if you've got a band and you're trying to get your band some exposure, hit me up at itsorry@gmail.com, and I'll show you the details about how to pull that off.
You can also jump on Patreon, and there is a option on the tiers to be able to get your band reviewed. Obviously, we can't lie to you, so we can't guarantee a positive review. Get what you get.
It's just rubbish.
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 That's British for garbage.
My favorite is the community option. $1 at the gate gets you in at Patreon. You get to join an alliance. The alliance joins their points together, and that helps determine what songs that we do.
The alliances hang out on Discord,
Message me on Patreon to get the link.
and they do all kinds of other cool things. They do Minecraft, Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah. It's really a community within the community. Anybody can go in the village, facebook.com/Vin and Sorry. There's 160,000+ people on the channel. What's cool about the Discord is that it offers a real opportunity for community connection, friendship, that type of thing.
And it's on Discord, so if you're not a Facebook person, it's for you.
You start off at $1.
Right.
Plus you get exclusives. Sorry and I are working on a song. So the first 15 seconds of that was on Patreon. Also, at $15 tier and above, when we actually debut the video, they're going to be there live with us. There you are, dear listener.
Buy our merch. Buy our merch indeed.
Buy our merch.
What happened?
It's buy our merch. Then I say buy our merch indeed. The child shall lead them, but you know.
Well, worse things have happened. Like
Who cares?
When I didn't remember to introduce myself.
Who cares?
But I've got it now. I'm Sorry, and this is Vin. We are in the middle of a DJ stream for the big homie. What?
Go ahead.
Mike Franco. He has picked the next song on his list to be Sacrificial Annihilation by the band Malevolent Creation.
Yes.
And I have not heard of these.
A lot of people have been asking us about the band Malevolent Creation because we put it in the thingamajiggy, and I'm very thankful that the big homie put it toward the end.
Yeah, wait.
You bums had to stick around with us for quite some time.
Yes.
But now the moment has arrived, dear listener. Now the moment has arrived.
And here we go.
Malevolent
Creation.
Malevolent Creation. The name of this song, as my buddy Ben said, is very wholesome. Sacrificial Annihilation. Oh. Why did they say moi?
I don't know. Yeah.
Probably because you're evil.
What? Take that back.
Turn that shit up. Turn it up. I said turn it up. Whoa, that bass.
Gosh. The words are gross.
Oh. Oh my God. What? Done.
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 Oh my god.
He pronounces the term sacrificial kind of weird,
Yeah.
but I'm assuming he has to do that to maintain the syllabic rhythm there.
Maybe. Or maybe
So I'm going to give him a
he's
pass
got an
on that.
accent. Look, the album cover has this creature holding up the 2 tablets. This is the 10 Commandments.
What's the name of the the track 7 on the 10 Commandments?
Yep.
Is it 10 songs?
Oh, I don't know. Question. 10
Yeah,
songs.
10 songs.
Oh boy. Thou shalt kill.
Thou shalt. I'll show you, Yahweh.
Okay. This song, I have to say, lyrically was very disgusting. When I was like looking at it, my stomach was actually feeling a little like, meh. Maybe I took too many vitamins before we started this. I don't know. But I'm like looking at these lyrics, I'm like, this is so friggin' nasty. What it sounded like, it had some heavy, I don't really like, no. You go. I don't really like this one.
Wow. The lyrics grossed you out a little bit too much.
Honest to goodness, I shouldn't have looked at the lyrics and I should have just followed the riff because maybe I would have liked it more that way. But I told myself after I went through 2 of these and I got to.
All right, so I'll read yours first because I caught the other.
Oh yeah, you're gonna read it out loud?
Well, I don't think people understood what he said either.
God, that's
Bone
true.
marrow twisted, white sockets shattered. Is it black flesh blistered, hungry maggots grow fatter. Tendon snap, cartilage corroding. Contorted muscles flap, clotted blood flowing. Circumstances beyond that of your feeble minds. Helpless victims scream in fear. For they know of their fines. I don't know what that really means. They know of their fines.
I think they scream in fear because they know they recognize where they are and it's not good. They know of their fines. They found that they're in this place and they know, and that's what's terrifying them.
Okay.
That's my guess.
That makes sense.
Or maybe they saw other bodies and they're like, oh my god, that's my
Carcasses lie piled, some gaping, some rotted.
Oh god.
Yellow pus dripping, putrid and hottened. Burning flesh quivers, loosened, bloated. Final stage
Bluing
of death,
flesh.
rigor mortis unfolded. Faces of white staring right through you. This hellish sight knows you're its own fool. You're hell.
What are the white faces? That was creepy. What are the white faces staring right through you?
die,
Are they the bodies that are looking still at you like to
When you
terror?
die, and you lose all the blood or whatnot,
Yeah.
it turns this gray, sickish, ashen white. It like goes from like regular to blue to like a greenish, and then finally like an ashen type white type of thing.
I'm not trying to be. I've only seen white people in that situation. Is it still basically the same?
It's similar. I mean, obviously it's subjective, but
Yeah.
it's pretty much the same.
Yeah. Well, I noticed that when if Sayla gets sick, the sort of green she looks, and the sort of greenish that you look too when you're not feeling good. So it's like similar but not the same. So, oh god. Okay.
Yeah. Odor of carrion is thick in the air. Puddles of mucus, flesh starts to tear. Immolation intruding on your body and soul as a moral adoration. Extinction takes its toll. Viewing this onslaught before me, its beauty is so fucking rare. Take one look and you will see. Devastation wrought with precision and care. From his fist, swift death is dealt. Your head up your ass, much pain is felt. Body all twitching, brain nerves dead. In a flick of his eyes, your makers met. Sacrificial annihilation. Panic is stricken. Stiff bodies abound. You need to escape, but the means are not found. Tiny little flesh creatures flee for their lives. From the plasm he returns. Now it's time to die. Mutilation, asphyxiation, dying by my grasp. Futile moves made by you to stop me in my tracks. Don't you know? As your limbs grow cold, I am your destruction. Sacrificial annihilation.
You know what's terrifying about this is that there are people that want to do this to other people.
Yes, it's called the United States. Oh. There's a reason I read those lyrics. Because you hear shit like, oh, we drone bombed, these pine nut farmers into eternity. This is what cleanup looks like, man.
Oh, God.
This is what cleanup looks like in that type of situation.
Yeah.
Shit is not pretty, and it's not cool. And I'm not saying there's never a time to do that, but there's never a time to do that to civilians. And we just wash over that shit.
And yeah, kids.
We just it's this horror that was just described is enshrined in a space like this big on CNN. Because, there were other things to badmouth Trump about. His racism and all the other nonsense. He just bodied all those people. Now, I'm not going to go after Trump because Obama was called the droner in chief and all the rest of it. So I'm not either way. What I'm saying is you need ugly art. Until we hit the millennium, when we can actually globally apply the Sermon on the Mount, you need... Because people are like, oh, this is over the top, blah, blah, blah. No, it's not over the top. It's not over the top. Like... And it's interesting because he says with precision care, and you'll see this. We started using this terminology, precision strikes, and all the rest of it, because when you do have satellite technology, you can get precise.
Yep.
But the definition of what precise means in that context, people don't understand. So because Americans want to be, because we're so apathetic and we don't really give a fuck about our fellow man. You hear precise, you go, oh, okay, that means we're differentiating between civies and non-combatants. No, what precise means in their vantage point is if we want to kill that guy, we're going to get him from a satellite. We're going to get him. But that does not mean
we're not
that
going to get other people
the bomb differentiates between a civvy and the person you're trying to get. Mm-hmm. No, it does not mean that. Mm-hmm. So...
Wow.
I'll give Trump credit, when he went after homeboy from Iran, he had a couple opportunities and he waited and he only killed the driver and whatever. Mm-hmm. I'll say Trump was more careful than Obama. Like there was one point, I don't know if you remember this, when the Iranians shot down one of our drones.
Yeah. Yes.
And at about 11:59, Trump reversed and said, "We're not gonna." He's like, "How many people are gonna die?"
Yep.
They were like 25 to 30. And all the Republicans like, yeah, let's kill, boom, boom, whatever, because they knew that the Iranians weren't going to be able to respond to us. Mm-hmm. And Trump said, "Nah, bro, we can't kill those people because of a drone."
I was so surprised that that 20 or 30 people was of consequence to him.
Yeah, it wouldn't have been to Obama though.
It wouldn't have been to a lot.
And like
of
I said, I don't care, politically, whatever. People are like, why do you have to bring politics into this? The reason is because the ugliness that was just described actually fucking happens in the world, man.
Yeah.
We actually do this shit to people. So, nobody wants to read it, but the mucus, the pus, and the sockets and the sockets shattered and all the rest of it, and people getting cut out to the white meat and all that shit happens. You're lucky if you're in ground zero with one of these drone strikes. You're blessed. If you're in ground zero, but the fallout and houses collapsing and kids suffocating under 400-pound ignited piles of steel and getting suffocated and burned, seared to death simultaneously. Man, Americans ain't trying to hear that shit.
No.
So we do that to people. You do that to people. So, And our politicians or whatever, they're not omniscient and they're not omnipotent, and they do kowtow to public pressure. but there's not enough public pressure on either side, Democrat, Republican, or progressive,
Right.
that gets into, Vice is supposed to be this big, like, oh, we report everything, man. There's a whole bunch of shit that Vice censors. No American has ever seen in any major news outlet or even on the internet news outlet what actually happens in a drone strike and what it actually looks like. We don't know what that looks like. Or it smells like. You don't know what it tastes like either. So.
Tastes like?
So.
Oh my God.
I mean, it's horrible. It's horrible. So, like, I don't like the lyrics, but I was like, I'm going to make a point to read this shit. Yep. Because I don't know when they wrote this song. Apparently, this was on their first record. But, I'm sure it's maybe some, like, ethereal, like, satanic creature who goes off and does that shit. In the universe of this album. 1991, yeah. In the universe of this album, I'm sure it was some horrible satanic,
Oh, yeah.
person who, whatever.
Yeah.
But
why waste an opportunity?
And to some degree, it's true. It is some evil that's doing that shit. It's, it's called the United States of America. And I know everybody wants to, we always want to absolve ourselves of this stuff.
Yeah.
We love the Pledge of Allegiance at the football game, and how dare you not, stand for the Pledge of Allegiance to the football game, because we're all part of the collective American spirit. But when we talk about bombing the shit out of these people, literally and figuratively, now all of a sudden we want to say, oh no, that's the Democrats who are doing that. That's the Democrats who are doing that. Oh, that's the Republicans who are doing that. No, motherfucker, that's you. Mm-hmm. You're doing that. We're doing that.
Right.
So, there's a big difference between guilt, false guilt, apathy, and empathy. Mm-hmm. Those are not all the same thing. But
the way to tell is to look at your reaction.
Americans we're so comfortable, and comfort is such a massive industry in America that I don't care what side you're on. None of us want to face that shit, man. Mm-hmm. So God's like, all right, cool. Here you go, sacrificial annihilation. And yeah, we sacrificed a whole bunch of people in this world, bro. Mm. For, whatever reason. But this shit is it's horrible. It's really, really, really horrible. And to Luminous Knight's point, they're devastatingly effective. I mean, there's a reason we have and it's brilliant the way that we talk about it. We have a defense budget. Who's coming after us, bro? You have a defense budget. So we use terminology like this.
Yeah.
Defense budget, precision strikes, we use this terminology because the powers that be know Americans want to be rocked to sleep in their apathy.
Yep. No, you're right.
So yeah, we're gonna let all these people die of preventable diseases in America.
Yeah.
We're gonna let people die of insulin shortages and all the rest of it. But hey, don't fuck with the defense budget. And all these people that were saying that Trump was a madman, he was crazy. Nancy Pelosi, oh my God, Trump is crazy. We need to impeach him. Yada yada yada. All of those people voted to give Trump billions of dollars to create weapons for the defense budget.
Yeah.
So the way that we are is it's unbelievable to me. It's unbelievable to me. It's mind-boggling to me.
Yeah,
the way
because
that we are.
in this day and age, there's no excuse. Most of us all have Google. You know what I mean? You can research anything. You can know exactly what's going on. But I think that you're right. I think that we want to be apathetic and we don't want to focus on it because we don't want to actually make any changes. And because we don't want to make any changes, no changes happen. And so people just keep getting... I take some time to stop and think about it and to think about, what's happening at the Gaza Strip and stuff like that. Like I take time to think about the border and I don't spend a lot of time thinking about it because it's very difficult. But yeah, I mean, I think a lot of times we don't want to think about it. We just want to put it out of our heads and spend the majority of our day doing whatever it is that we want to do instead of realizing. I mean, can you imagine being these families? Like we worry about regular things, you know, like SIDS, or what if the kid runs and gets hit? You know what I mean? Like, these are like normal. We're not worried that some bomb is going to come out of the sky and blow us all to smithereens and maybe our kids survive with, you know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't even occur to us to know what that would even be like.
Yeah.
And some people, it's, oh, yay, we made it through a day. I mean.
Yeah, this is a soundtrack to the Middle East for the last 20 years.
That's pretty messed up. That is pretty messed up.
So, I mean, shit, man. We had, 4 weeks into the Iraq invasion, we had the shock and awe campaign. Mm-hmm. They were televising the shit that we just got, the shit that just got described by this horrible satanic band. That was on fucking TV for America to be like, yeah, America! Fuck those Iraqi civilians that are currently crying out to their God and their mother as they're suffocating to death. Fuck those people. Fuck them. What did they do to you? I don't know. Shock it off. Okay. All right. I'm amazed that this country has not been swallowed alive in the Sheol. I'm amazed.
Yeah.
God is very, very merciful. But I don't know, man. You don't seem to be very merciful to those people over there. So, to be merciful to us equals destruction for those people.
Right.
So, that's a question. That's a problem of evil question. But for some reason, I don't hear it get asked.
Yeah.
I don't hear it. Nobody, atheist, Christian, nobody's saying like, yo, how the fuck? If God is real and he's just, how the fuck are we still alive after all the shit we do to people all over the fucking planet?
That's so true.
I got all these kids. They're all fucking healthy and shit. One of them's doing a business. One's meanwhile, there's some, you know.
Yep.
That's all right, though. Because we're okay. But let something happen to us. How could God, whatever? How come nobody's saying, how come God's letting America just fucking, with no consequence whatsoever? Nobody's asking that question. That tells me something. Tells me a lot. Mm-hmm. Anyway, silent count for me.
Yeah, believe it or not, it was going to be a 6 because I was not really a fan of it, but I'm going to go with a silent count. What can be done? Yikes.
Horrible. Good song, though. Good song. Those guys have mastered their instruments, and those people are doing God's work. And I mean that literally. They're doing God's work.
Crazy.
Rest in peace to all the victims of American violence and aggression.
Yeah.
And God help our country. Then out.
Sorry, Al.
Gone.
Wow.
All right.
Woo. Heart of a Coward. Hollow is next. What? You like that? You like cowards?
Yeah, I was just looking at BC. My cousin got a free AA degree from bombing people. Holy shit. Yeah, exactly, Amy. Biden threatening Putin over Ukraine is the most ridiculous. Correct. Don't you do anything to those Ukrainians. Gosh. Because we have complete moral authority in the earth. As brother Minister Farrakhan said, we some ridiculous people, bro. Ridiculous. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. All right, guys. We're coming right back soon. Commercial time. We shall return. We got one more for you beautiful people. I'm Vin.
I'm sorry.
If you would like to get your song reviewed, dear listener, there's the Filthy Capitalist option. Sorry says 125 gets you straight to the head of the line. You don't have to be part of the alliance. You don't have to be part of the group.
Wait a minute.
And the biggest thing is you don't have to wait. You hop, skip, and jump right in front of everybody. 125 gets you there. You do that 3 times, and then get mashed down to the $75 rate for perpetuity.
Yes!
Also, there is a band review option. So if you've got a band and you're trying to get your band some exposure, hit me up at instory@gmail.com, and I'll show you the details about how to pull that off.
You can also jump on Patreon, and there is a option on the tiers to be able to get your band reviewed. Obviously, we can't lie to you, so we can't guarantee a positive review. Get what you get.
It's just rubbish.
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 That's British for garbage.
My favorite is the community option. $1 at the gate gets you in at Patreon. You get to join an alliance. The alliance joins their points together, and that helps determine what songs that we do.
The alliances hang out on Discord.
Message me on Patreon to get the link.
And they do all kinds of other cool things. They do Minecraft, Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah. It's really a community within the community. Anybody can go in the village, facebook.com/Story. There's 160,000+ people on the channel. What's cool about the Discord is that it offers a real opportunity for community connection, friendship, that type of thing.
And it's on Discord, so if you're not a Facebook person, it's for you.
You start off at $1.
Right.
Plus you get exclusives. Story and I are working on a song. So the first 15 seconds of that was on Patreon. Also, at $15 tier and above, when we actually debut the video, they're going to be there live with us. There you are, dear listener.
Buy our merch.
Buy our merch indeed.
And a child shall lead them.
Child shall lead them. This has the vocalist from the ex-vocalist from Sylosis, I think.
Look, babe, it's called Heart of a Coward. I know.
Heart of a Coward.
You like that. You like
Hollow,
cowards,
ex-vocalist from Sylosis, which is a band that has been featured this night, and they've had a very, very good showing, I must say.
Uh-huh.
Heart of a Coward.
Hollow.
Speaking of a good showing this night, DJ Franco has been rocking shit hard.
Yes.
Hard.
Yeah.
Hard.
There's a nicety to his stream, even though we just listened to that weird song. But like, there's something
The weird song.
yeah, the one.
Yeah.
With all that death.
America.
Yeah, but I couldn't explain it, but I like the way that the stream is going.
Okay, sounds like a plan. All right, y'all, here we go. Avita Zane, we've reached the end, my friends. Let's rock as hard as we possibly can. Heart of a Coward, Hollow, with the lyrics on the video. Let's go.
It's building.
Yes, pick. Yeah. Boom.
Oh, Mike knows us well. You know exactly how to end this stream. Wow.
Yes, Pinky.
Boy, I really enjoyed that one. Babe, when we move, I want a soundproof room. So imagine if we could like play this and like when it's an actually like one that you want to actually like bang around, you jump up from the chair and start thrashing around. It would be so much fun.
I'm with it. I'm with it.
I'm like,
we'll
I'm married
soundproof
to
the
these
room for work.
headphones.
Yeah, for sure. Hey,
Oh
Johnny
my gosh.
Melancholy in the house.
Hey,
Good to
what's
see you,
up?
buddy. We're on the very last review.
So sorry, shut up a little late.
Okay, so this sounds like a guy. I'm immediately going to go to substance abuse just because of the background of people we had to work with. But go ahead. What are your thoughts?
That it was fucking hard. I decided like the only thing that I was focusing on was I got Oxygen Thief, and I also got the part where we screamed hollow and also where we screamed fuck. So that was what I got from the song. It was fun.
We built. Hold on. That was let's go to the top, shall we?
Yep.
Shall we?
Oh my gosh.
Welcome home and dive into a world so blind your life decided since the day you were born. All along you felt the dark presence, so hard to believe your conscience was torn. And with each passing moment, it's becoming even harder to breathe. You remain on the path you have chosen as an oxygen thief. So there you go. What do you take from those lyrics there?
When I got to Oxygen Thief though, it reminded me of, remember they would call them mouth breathers.
Yeah,
mouth breathers. Okay, so you decided since the day you were born. So what the person has done a lot of things that has made, the architect of your own fucking madness. Right. So they have constructed a life that is bringing a lot of misery. Is that what's happening here?
Well, yeah. I mean, that's why I say like this sounds like a substance abuse situation.
Of course, John.
Because this person, it's basically a person.
Oh, with dead eyes, you lie to friends and family. You wore the badge of your decline, too blind to see the way you spread your sickness over everyone you meet. Well, yeah, because they're inevitably brought into the madness of your substance abuse. I was literally just talking to a girl, and she said that there was somebody that was close to her, and they wouldn't stop with the substance abuse. And then she said that she found them rummaging around in her car, and she was like, "What are you doing in my car?"
Yeah.
And they were looking for stuff, and then they ended up stealing her identity. And she was pregnant at the time, and she said that during the pregnancy she was going, and her doctor was kind of like acting weird with her, and she didn't know why. Well, that person stole her identity and was getting like hard medications with her name, and so the doctor was looking at it. She goes, "So you're pregnant?" And of course she was like, "Well, yeah," because she didn't know. But then once she found out, she said, "Yo, you crossed way too many lines. Like, you stole my identity so you could." And honestly, I think she was embarrassed because of being pregnant. You know, like how people feel, like how other people, like when I was pregnant, I didn't even want to buy a can of beer for the chili. I was afraid people were sometimes people feel judged. But
yeah,
so she had to completely put that person out of her life, and you could tell that it was hard for her, but that almost, it's actually sad because when the people talk about it, they sound so like kind of dismissive of the person, like she had to go, like but I think that you have to callous yourself to be able to deal with the fact that they're in such a bad place and you're pushing them away, but they've left you with no choice. And so I think with dead eyes, you lie to friends and family. That was one thing that completely shocked me when we were working downtown with a lot of people that were on substance abuse. They had substance abuse issues. That surprised me because, like, I thought, you're going to think this is so ridiculous. I thought that we were good, like, as far as, like, safety goes down there, because we were becoming friends with these people and they would never, want to take from us. And then I remember when you said, we're prime real estate for people wanting to take advantage because we were there to help them.
Yeah.
And then I was like, what? And then you said, this is what happens with their families. And then I was like, oh my gosh. And then I was seeing it after you explained to me how those things go. Then I was seeing it like before my very eyes. And it was It was terrible because these people, you could tell that the drug was completely taking over their entire lives. They'd come in, sometimes they'd be all slumped out, saying all kinds of crazy things. And I remember thinking when I was looking into one of these girls' eyes, and I was wondering, like, how much of this interaction will she remember? Like, how much of this does she even... And I think people may not be able to remember events, but I think they can remember feelings. And how, like, I was looking at this thing that it was a type of memory, not necessarily suppressed memory, but it was like, well, it was suppressed, but it was tucked away and it was triggered by feelings. And so you might, maybe you feel disappointed whenever you were in school because of whatever reason. And then now here you are, like, when you enter a school, you suddenly feel super disappointed and you don't know why. Well,
yeah.
So anyway, so these people, they're... I don't know. I didn't know how much she could understand. And so I was getting to the end of, like, I was feeling so frustrated that she wasn't changing. And we did everything to help her change, and she wouldn't change. And I wanted her to change so badly. And then I started realizing, like, this is how their family feels. And so I maintained a level of kindness with her. But in my own heart, I was frustrated because it was so painful to watch her. But I mean...
And
we saw her like a couple weeks ago. She's doing really good.
Yeah. She's doing really good. Mm-hmm. That's a person that we met outside. She has no obligations to us as family.
Yeah. Oh, right. Exactly.
Your family does some shit to you.
Yeah.
Or your friends do some shit to you. Like, I've had friends, like, steal my car and sell it for drugs. You know what I'm saying? Like...
Yeah.
And he was...
This is not funny, but it's funny. That's happened to him more than one time. Where somebody, like...
Yeah, but my friend...
sells his car. First of all, honestly, honey, before being with you, I didn't even know people could do that. Because I thought literally the only way that you could buy and sell a vehicle was with a title. But I didn't realize that if some people aren't following the law on some things, they don't care. They'll drive without a license. They'll drive... You know what I mean? Like, all that stuff. So... Yeah, multiple times that's happened.
He came up to me like 2 years later, and he said, "Hey, I got to talk to you." He said, "Listen, I didn't lose your car. I sold it."
Oh, he told you?
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, it's still not good, but it's better.
I looked at the homie and I said, "I know."
Right.
And he said, "Forgive me." I said, "I've already forgiven you. I've been hanging out with you for the last 6 months, bro. What do you think?"
Yeah.
But at the same time, it was important for him
to say
that because that was part of his that was part of his recovery. So it was important for him to vocalize that, and it was important for me to vocalize to him, "Bro, I forgive you. We're square."
Absolutely.
And I never brought it up again. Ever.
Right.
And most of the time I forgot about it until I started the channel, and then I saw this stuff. But I had at the time
he wasn't really, because you did legit forget about that.
Yeah, because at the time he was the first person that I really, first drug addicted person that I loved in my life. Mm-hmm. And so once we actually really got into the shit downtown, I said, "Oh," and then I was just happy that I could, because we had connections with a a mini rehab thing.
Yep.
I was just happy that he was doing it and all the rest. I mean, if you're friends or family, if you love them, then whatever. But the problem comes when you got a whole bunch of people that will not do that.
Right.
That's the problem. Mm-hmm. And in this song. This person is not at that point because they're still lying to their friends and family, and they're still making excuses. As you look, he says, "Your life decided since the day you were born." So, and then he talks about, he says, "You remain on the path you have chosen." So I think what's happening there is, "Hey man, there's nothing I could do about it. Mm-hmm. My dad was one, my mom was one. What do you want me to do?"
I mean, he might have been born addicted already.
Yeah, man. But then he's still holding him accountable and saying, "Yeah, but you're choosing to remain on that path."
Bingo.
Like,
bingo.
So that person who came and apologized to me was legit grinding out, trying its best to, change. Mm-hmm. And nobody told him that because nobody told him to do that because nobody knew.
Right.
And I didn't let anybody know that shit happened. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? The only other person on the planet who knew it happened was his ex-girlfriend. Who?
Oh, she knew?
Yeah, because I'd be calling her, be like, "Yo, where's the car?" And she'd just hang up the phone. And then she, when I finally, she couldn't face me, and I said, "You are completely clean. You have nothing to apologize to me for or be ashamed about at all."
Yeah.
Like.
Oh yeah.
At all. But
yeah.
I mean, obviously she was. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you connected to the person. That's.
And yeah, but. It was, I mean, we're laughing about it. To me, I genuinely don't care about materials. In my mind, I already had another car.
Yep.
I had Machine Gun Funk, so I'm like, okay, I'm good. What am I going to hold that over his head for? You know what I'm saying? So I just let it go. I had already let it go. I'd already forgiven him for it. But I was so proud of him for, getting to that. Shout out to the big homie. But, I was just so proud of him for getting to that point. I'm like, holy shit, God's really working on this dude. Okay, we're in good shape.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but a lot of people, and I'm not judging those people because he was somebody I could phase in and out of. Right. Yep. If it was too much. Yep. I didn't have to deal with him. Yep. You know what I'm saying?
He was the first time that we saw him. It was very late at night. He was at McDonald's and we were taking a night drive or whatever. And you said, you're going to die if you don't stop this. You're going to die and your daughter is going to bury you. Yeah. And I had never seen anybody be that honest with anybody. There's so many things that it's when it said, you wore the badge of your decline, too blind to see. There's the person doesn't even realize how freaking obvious they are because they're so steeped in whatever it is that they're steeped in. They have no self-awareness. And so when you said that to him, I was like, how many times are we in situations where everybody can see where this is going and people don't say anything to the person? And so I was thinking it when I saw him, he had lost so much weight. He looked so bad. And I was thinking he's going to die. He is going to die. And that's all I couldn't even really carry on a conversation because in the back of my head, that's all I kept hearing. He's going to die. He's going to die. And then you said that. And it was like that. He's going to die. He's going to die. That stopped. When you said that, I was like, okay. I was so glad that you had that level of, it must have been really hard for you to say something like that. But at the same time, you're trying to save his life and make it so that way his daughter still has a father.
Yeah. It's
unbelievable.
That's what I said. That's why I said it's a grimy business. Yep. And the thing about drugs is it's so unpredictable and so final. Conversely, we had another guy that I never said that to that completed the program.
Oh my God, babe.
Had 2 daughters. He was found
he looked like he was doing so good too. It wasn't like he was all
minute. The EMTs basically said another minute and a half. He'd been gonzo.
Wait. We're not talking about the same person? Oh, somebody else that almost died?
The first time.
Oh.
He got we were in a meeting. Yeah. And another minute and a half he would have been gonzo. Yeah. And it was a beautiful story because we did this, cookout at a park and
we had buns. We were making hamburgers for the people. Well, who sells buns that are not pre-sliced? Well, apparently these weren't. So we're trying to rip these buns apart to stick them. It was a very messy situation. He walks by, he sees us, he's like, "Yo, I live right there.
He's got a culinary background."
Yep.
He brought us a knife, and we had that on tape.
Yeah.
We had recorded it. So the moment that we met the dude,
yeah,
and interfaced with and crossed paths with him, we had that on camera, and then. The guy that was manning the grill had a little culinary shop that he lived there.
He had a restaurant.
And so they hooked up, and then they came to us and like, yo, this dude he's got a major drug issue, blah blah blah. Yeah. We get him to get him to detox. He detoxed for about 48 hours at your place a little bit. Get him up. It was this massively beautiful story. He came back. You know,
he was very tall and he was super skinny,
mega skinny,
like all sunken in looking. And then he went to the program and he was working out. He was eating. He wasn't on drugs, so he got like the bulk of his body back.
He got chunky.
And it was like,
we used to joke about like going at it, you know, because he was like so much bigger than me.
Yeah.
But like when before he went to rehab, he was so skinny, so it wasn't like
skinny. So before he left, I hugged him when he got into rehab, and he was just like this frail of a person. Yeah. And then the next time that I hugged him, he had been through that system, and he felt so strong, and I was like, oh, this is so good. Like he's doing so much better. And it was like, it was so hopeful.
He went up in church and
his daughters were there to see him graduate.
His mom. He went to that night at church. He
made the whole
That was the
thing.
best night at church we'd ever had ever.
Yeah,
that was that night, and he gave his testimony, all that shit. And I don't know, like 6 months ago, man,
and he didn't even look any different. He didn't look like he was back using. You know, the recent videos, he looked like everything was good and he was happy and his daughters were there and it was Christmas and there was a giant cross in the background and it was just all these things. And then, like you said, he maybe, you know, a lot of times people they get off it and then they try to go back to their same dose. You cannot go back to your same dose. Your body is not ready for it. You shock your system and...
He's out. He's done. His that's how Sean's daughter died, from Slipknot. She just came back from rehab. So, I mean, you know, so like people in this situation are actually pretty fortunate, because if you're this mad at the person, that means they're still alive. Because we've been on the other side of that when people die, because it just constantly happens. Like people have no idea how frequently people die in those situations. Like even after rehab, they are not out of the woods. He had been out for 2.5 years.
Yep.
He completed the program. He was a mentor in the program. Yep. He'd been out for 2.5 years. Like you're never out of the woods with hard drugs like heroin, fentanyl, all that shit. And so we've also been on the other side of that, and nobody's this angry. They're just broken. But you're angry at the person when you're in the middle of all that shit. Mm-hmm. So like they're still, and that's actually one of the reasons I was like rocking so hard, because like I'm so mad about that shit. But I've never, you know, I don't think I'm never even gonna look at, you know, like deal with that. But I was just happy for this guy that if it's drugs, that I'm happy that he's so mad, because I'm like, okay, homeboy's still alive then. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So that's how I look at it. But holy shit, Mike Franco.
It was so heavy when it started. I'm like, this is the perfect song for the ending of a stream, because you know we're knuckle draggers, okay? We like the heavy stuff.
Yeah, we like the heavy shit.
Yeah, we enjoyed it so much, and like that's why I said, we have got to have a soundproof room for songs like this. I want to be able to, you know, like how when something goes you know, when something goes well and then all the confetti comes down or something, is some sort of celebration. It would be like, are they going to stand? Like that would be the thing. Because like if the song is really good, boom, we jump up and rock. Oh man, it would be so cool. But we're like trapped in these sloppy headphones that I keep trying to straighten.
Much love to you, Motor City Bassist. I hear you, bro. I hear you. So, moral of the story is, if you have somebody that you're mad as hell at, you nobody can tell you not to be mad at them. They, you know, being in the situation that you're in.
Exactly.
But you're very, very fortunate that you can still be mad as hell at them,
right?
Because that means they're still alive, inshallah.
Yeah.
So, and if you're if you're an addict and all the rest of it, we got no judgments for you. The song sounded like it was massively judgmental, but being on the other side of it, it's all love, man.
Right.
It's all love. It's just people trying to figure out, people who love you deeply, who are trying to process that betrayal and that pain and the powerless feeling you have when you love a person in that condition.
Yeah.
And they know that you're not yourself. They know that you wouldn't be a liar and betray your friends and family by what they've seen from you.
Mm-hmm.
But you have done it, and they're powerless to stop it, and they're powerless to help you in your powerlessness. So don't take it as judgment. All the times your family member, if I'm speaking to an addict now, if your family member lashes out at you and they say a whole bunch of judgmental shit to you, don't take it as judgment. It's the expression of the fear of the powerlessness of a person who has to watch you deconstruct yourself in front of them. Get help and stay helped.
Exactly.
Please. If this influences one person, then all 2,700 of the songs we've reviewed are worth it.
And don't wait. Can you put up the hotline for help? Don't wait to get the help. That's a thing that we saw too. A lot of times people would say, well, I'm going to go tomorrow, or I'm going to go after the weekend. And what ended up happening was it's similar with people when they try to do dieting techniques. They're like, okay, well, I'm going to start dieting tomorrow, so I'm going to friggin' binge tonight. Yeah. Well, that's what ends up happening. And then, they end up dead because they wanted to party one last night and they overdid it. And now so if you think that you are ready to take that, because nobody can force somebody to do it. That's another thing I saw. You can set shit up for them. You can bring them there. You can do everything. You can get them everything that they need, and they will friggin' leave that program tomorrow because they have no interest in being there. So if you're in that situation and you're ready, you want to make the changes, it's going to be difficult, but you're ready to say, I'm taking this journey now. I'm going to go forward. Don't wait until tomorrow. Call that hotline. Get into the program that you need to get into and start. Don't take one more last party. Do not do it. Don't do it at all. Yeah. And if you're getting out and you're like feeling weak and you're like, I think I might go back to some of those drugs, call the hotline, get it. And if by chance you miss that opportunity, and you've never missed it, you can always turn back. But let's say you already were ready to take some, like, do not go back to your original dosage. Stay away from that.
Yeah. It's like we always say, it's funny, like, if you're thinking about suicide, hold it off till tomorrow. And if you're thinking about recovery, do that shit right fucking now.
Yep.
And we're going to be here for you, obviously. No judgments in the village. We've got everybody that's been through everything known to man in our community. Yep. And every single time, atheist, agnostic, whatever people believe, people have always rallied around people that need help here. So, but go to the professionals. Call the number. Go to the professionals. I got to say, shout out to DJ Mike.
Yeah.
Heavy shit, bro. Heavy songs, heavy content.
Loved this.
Really, really good stream, man. Really, really freaking good stream, bro.
It was fun.
You did a damn good job.
It was very fun.
Yeah. It was heavy. It was thoughtful. It was insightful. DJ Mike, you deserve. Hold on. Let me see here. Rest in peace, eardrums. Boom, boom, boom. Shout out to DJ Mike, everybody. Everybody hail DJ Mike. Very good freaking stream, bro. Really, really good job.
Yep.
Everybody else, much love to you guys. Vlad, obviously. Contrail, happy birthday, bro.
Yeah,
happy birthday.
What? Elder Juan said, never quit quitting.
Yeah, never quit quitting. That's a good one. Centralia, it's your birthday. Send us an email, it's literally the dude's birthday. Send us an email, vidinstory@gmail.com, and tell us your size and your address. We'll send you a free shirt.
If you're outside of the U.S., send us your phone number as well.
Yeah, I promise you, we're not trying to be weird stalker people. We're just trying to bless you, big homie. It's your birthday. Congratulations for hitting 38 years on the earth. The earth has been much better for you being on it, and that's no bullshit. So, vidinstory@gmail.com. Send us your shirt size and address. I'm assuming you want the Sorry Secret shirt. So we also have Actually, you probably want the Till We Die shirt.
Yeah,
it's up to you.
It's got the skulls on it. It's pretty badass.
yeah, it's pretty badass. It's nothing, Centralia. We got you, bro. Amy Lee, DJ Envy. I got nothing at the end, except for
man.
You literally. We were literally in a conversation right after. Some of these people, I swear.
Wow.
On top of what was supposed... Man, listen, man. If people knew what she...
The crocodile tears from this one.
Yeah. DJ Envy. All right. DJ Middle Earth, DJ Franco, much love to all you people. Shout out to the homie Vlad. I already said that. Vin out.